Hello and good evening to all of my lovely listeners, lurkers, and watchers. I hope you are all having a fantastic Wednesday night. I know I am because I'm here spending it with you. Welcome in, everyone. I apologize for being an hour late. Oops. Big oops on my part. My bad, my bad. Forgive, maybe? Probably not. The dust bunnies are ruthless little creatures. The most hardened hearts of all of the chat mascots. But welcome in, everyone. I hope you were well. I hope you were taking time to take care of yourself, as it is oh so important to do so. On this lovely Wednesday night broadcast, we are going to be reading some more fantastical real-world tales of conspiracy and supernatural occurrences. I'm very excited for this. Framing it in this way of, I'm not necessarily reading about conspiracies, because if anybody remembers, we had a very, very successful... I'm sorry, I have my window open because I need to let the room air out before we fully get started, but this is the fuck off time of the stream anyway. If anybody remembers, I did a reading conspiracy theory, or just about conspiracies, not conspiracy theories. I did an ASMR stream where we read about conspiracies, and I made a little cork board and everything to keep track of similar names that kept popping up and that kind of thing. And we focused predominantly on Stargate and Stargate adjacent projects. The people on YouTube really liked that one, and the people here on Twitch really liked that one, so I'd love to do something more A-specific like that again. But I do kind of like the idea of framing it as the true tales. Why is there a little dust bunny centipede kind of situation going on? Yeah, you guys break that up. That's fucking weird. Don't do that. Don't do that. Not in front of everybody. Go do that in private. Perverts. Framing it as true tales. I feel like I could split it into one story about some kind of like funky government conspiracy. That'd be really cool. A extraterrestrial encounter, and then also a ghost story to round everything off. I do have at least the first two. If anyone has some real, heavily documented ghost stories that they could recommend to us, I'll pull up the Wikipedia page for it. That's what I have. That's what I have for a conspiracy one. Oh no, you're at work? I'm sorry, Rox. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, that sucks. Well, if you'd like to, you can lurk. If you'd like to, you can have us on in the background. Or if you're just stopping by to say hi before you got to get in the wagey cagey. Hi. I'm sorry. We'll probably be on for at least a minute tonight, so hopefully we won't miss you too long. Everybody's punching everybody else. Everybody's punching everybody else. Or Auntie is... No, it's Nicholas, Auntie, and my darling Kruznik are ganging up on anybody. Sorry, no, not 1 minute, a minute. Metaphorically, we're gonna be around for a while tonight. Alright, I'm gonna close my window 1 sec. I didn't want it to get cold in here. Just a little cool, a little depressurization. I don't think it's working anyway. There we go. That's the vibes. That's the vibes. Hell yeah. I do hope that everybody's having a good week so far. We're halfway through the spiral. Ooh. There we go. Alright. 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 I had forgotten one thing. Damn it. Damn it. Wait, no. Did I set it up? Yeah, there we go. Okay. The music that we were listening to is a little bit more jammy than I was thinking. Oh, I was trying to find more of their like low spooky stuff, you know? Ah, that's fine. Why is everybody different sizes? Oh my god. Whatever. Welcome in, everyone. Oh wait, no, I hit the wrong button. That's gonna fuck up something Shoot. Shoot. I was gonna be really close to everybody tonight, because I mean, you know, the mic is right here after all. Welcome in, everyone. Happy Wednesday to our lovely little guys that are hanging out with us. Hi, Auntie. Welcome in, welcome in. Hello, Cruisenick. Welcome in. Hi, everybody. Hi, everyone. I hope you're all having a good night so far. I am. I got groceries. I got something else that starts with a G. I got soup. I ate a really nice bowl of chicken and dumpling soup right before we started. Oh, homie. It's so good. It's so good. I was very happy about it. It was at the grocery store, and it had like this really nice coupon on it. That if you get like 2 things of nice soup, you also get crackers, cheese squares, and a little container of mini brownies, completely for free. Not a bad sale. Not a bad sale. I might get more next week. I also have a lovely warm cup of tea tonight. Oh, I don't have the trigger menu up, but if there are any triggers in particular that anybody would like to request, just, you know, feel free tonight. Feel free. I want to have a little bit more loose fun with everything today, I think. Oh, hi. Oh my god. Everybody is different sizes. Rox, why are you so tiny? Why are you so tiny? You're so small. Oh my god. But yeah, welcome in, everybody. That's kind of all I've done today. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry you can't hear the alerts because they're a little bit too loud, but that's very kind of you. Thank you, Rox, for gifting Nicholas a sub. That's so fucking cool of you. Thank you so much. I can still hear it because the audio comes through OBS, so I can still hear it, but you guys can't. And it was just it's the Twilight Zone, the do sound that plays. It like actually jump scared me for a second. It's like, oh my god. The Anomaly's about freedom from the ads. Hell yeah. Cause you're a little baby. Just a little baby. Oh, that's fine. That's fine. If you're just a little baby in real life, you're just a little dust bunny over here. Further experimentation on the dust bunnies has led me to find out that these are simply avatars for you. You do, in fact, exist on the other side at the same time. I wonder if the interaction with your computer is allowing a dimensional rift to open up, which would make sense for what my presence in this world means. Get startled. Well, thank you. Thank you. It's probably just like a package getting delivered or something. New anomaly detected in nearby area. Amazon driver. I'm sorry, that makes it sound really mean, but I don't mean it like that. Everybody who does delivery work that isn't insane with people's packages. I love you. I love you. Thank you for your service. Thank you. I like getting things delivered, so I should not complain about the people who deliver those things. I have no right to. Nice pee jump scare. Instead of the spooky dude in the hood that hangs out in the corner of my room, it would just be a little French twink. Would that still be a... Would that still be a jump scare? I know some people would get really hyped about that. Thank you so much for the gifted rocks. That's very, very kind of you. Thank you so much. I hope everybody enjoys their ad-free viewing. Get startled. It doesn't work after the first one. It doesn't work after the first one. It's not the same. I forgot I was gonna look for music to play. Just some nice, quiet, spooky background stuff. That's what I want. Harpsichord is kind of fun for that, but it's a little too high energy, I think. Oh, I can't decide. I love all of this person's music. I looked at my rap today, and like, obviously, any corporate thing, any branded thing, I don't give a fuck about. It's not about that. If you have an ability to listen to music that isn't through Spotify, do that. Do that. Please, for the love of God. However, this is my main mode. It is also the thing that allows me to share music with everybody in chat, so, you know. I did look at it today, and dated, I think specifically because of how much I listen to their music in the second half of the year, is in the second spot on my top 5 artists. First one is Sleep Token, because they had Welcome to Arcadia come out earlier this year, so duh. Anybody who had a major album release. But then it was... it should have just all been tied for third, but it was Evanescence, Spirit Box, and Poppy. All 3, 4, and 5. I thought I fucking told everybody it was the only thing I was listening to all year. I do like some of the statistical stuff as well. I did see that I was in the top 5% listeners for Welcome to Night Vale. I only got to episode 70 too. That's like season... I think that's technically still only season 2. Oh my god. Oh my god. It's my first time listening to it all. And I should pick it up again because it was really good to listen to for my walks. 2 episodes back to back and I can walk the whole 3 miles. I didn't get to do... Oh, I should try to do a little walk tonight before I go to bed. Glow Cloud. Yeah. I'm sorry, wait, did you make the... Or was it somebody else? Oh gosh, I'm gonna get all my dust bunnies disorganized. I'm sorry, did you make a Glow Cloud joke, or were you the one who made the faceless woman in your house who's always just out of view? I can't remember. I think it was the faceless old woman. But yeah. I did get it. Okay, yeah. I don't remember the cloud one specifically, but I remember the faceless old woman. I don't know, like the whole like political structure in Night Vale is something that greatly interests me. I always think it's funny that like just so many people wanted to run for mayor just because they're incredibly opinionated. Not all of them were anomalies, but they're just all incredibly opinionated. That's all it takes to run for mayor. Just to have thoughts about things. So it's so stupid when I say it like that, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Was I? No, I got sick. I haven't been working on anything since Monday. But I did do something. Damn it. I like to talk about, sometimes I feel silly because I'm like, oh man, the only things that I ever have to talk about are things that I'm doing or things that I'm looking forward to. Oh, Nicholas. Oh, I distracted you. You didn't go for the health. I'm gonna get it. No, you son of a bitch. You killed me. You got me, Nicholas. Good job. I need to figure out how to change the timer so you guys get actual little victory dances instead of just a single pelvic thrust of first place, you know? You deserve a full victory dance, a full little da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da at least, you know? I get down on myself because I think about, like, only thing I ever really have to talk about is just stuff that I, like, my day-to-day survival stuff. But then I remember one of the main reasons I got into the habit of doing that in the first place was so I could help encourage other people who, oh my god. Whoa, look at him go. Look at him go. That's crazy. And so I can encourage people to, you know, prioritize themselves or to help, you know. I know I'm just kind of getting by, and maybe my just little bit of just getting by will... What are you looking at? What are you looking at? What are you looking at there, little guy? Do it again. Do it again. Do it again. I fucking dare you. Do it again. I bet you can't. I bet you can't. I bet you're gonna fall on your face if you try to do that kickflip one more time. And he landed it. Look at him go. Look at him go. What a little guy. Wait a minute. The shade of pink is like, oh, told you to hold still for a second. The shade of pink is almost like dead onto my eyes too. I'm not gonna lie, I like it when you guys are small and run around. It's like extra cute. It's extra cute. Delicious. Delicious little guys. I don't even remember what I was talking about. Oh, if me just surviving can help encourage somebody else to do the same, nah, I ain't got no problem with it. What did I accomplish today? Groceries. I started my laundry. Definitely didn't finish it. It's still in the dryer. I survived. I pet a cat. I fed some birds. And I ate some soup. That's all I needed. And if that's all you've accomplished today too, completely fine. Completely fine. You know what? I think you're doing great. My bar is pretty high, but you know, just because I don't always get to it doesn't mean you're not doing great, I promise. I was trying to see if there was anything fun we could talk about. Like any cool, like, fun announcements. Nothing crazy. And still definitely something that's a very, very long way off. But I think I have found the artist I would like to work with for our eventual, hopefully, full 1.0 model. I think I found them. They did a price breakdown for a bunch of their services and everything, and with just the art itself is so beautiful. I love, like, the movement of the characters. It's just something I've got in the back of my head, and if I suddenly come into, like, $2,000, you know? Artist? Model? Yeah! I'm sorry, Rox, I don't mean this in an assumption kind of a way, but depending about how much you know about VTubers, the little guy that's on screen, my little guy, that's my VTuber model. And they're usually called models because they're either 3D models or 2D models that are animated in a particular way to mimic movements and everything. So it's all very, very cool stuff. The artist, you were one? It's so impolite. It's so impolite to ask, but the gut reaction is like, oh my god, who? But, like, obviously that's not my business. That's not my business at all. Oh, you just came back in? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Oh, it's all good. It's all good. I can't believe my first reaction to somebody was just like, oh, I was a VTuber. Like, who were you? Who were you? It's like, no, don't ask that. That's so rude. That's so fucking. Oh, God. I'm gonna have to, like, reevaluate myself. But the, sorry to answer. The artist is somebody that goes by Vamp Pupper on Twitter or, Mira. They've done some models for a couple of other people that I've seen, and just, oh man, they're perfect. They're perfect. They're perfect. They're perfect. They also make these really, really cute chibi models, which they have a package where you can get a full model done and a chibi model, and have them both at the same time, essentially. And they have a bunch of really cute little VTuber children that they seem to have, like, fantastic relationships with and everything, which is just, that's fun to see. That's always fun to see. I thought that's what you said. I thought that's what you said, that you were a VTuber. Did I misunderstand? It's fine. I think I have a cold. Like, yesterday I was definitely having some kind of crazy body fever stuff going on. My brain is still very silly, so I'm sorry if I jump around to, like, extra today and lose track of myself and sound crazy. I apologize. I apologize if that occurs. Go Minasari. I do love that it happens every now and again that me and chat get slightly off from each other and we get confused. I think it's cute. Fair warning, everybody, we got an ad break coming up in about 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Oh, welcome in, Caden. Hello, I hope you're having a lovely, lovely night. If you guys would like to avoid ads in the future, please do consider subscribing, as it does help us out a lot. And along with ad-free viewing, you also get access to custom emotes and a precious little sub badge next to your name in chat. If you're not interested in any of that, still thank you so much for your continued support, and enjoy the ads. We will be taking a very short little break whenever the ads pop up, so nobody misses a thing. And oops, sorry, I bumped my teaspoon into the mic. Oops. When we come back from the ad, we're going to start reading our reading about different spooky things. That's an odd question to ask me who I am while I am here. sorry. The context in my head was that you said that you were a VTuber, and then I was like in the context of war, it's like, oh, did you graduate? And you're not a VTuber anymore. It's like, oh, who were you before graduation? In the terms of VTuber stuff, that I think that's pretty impolite to ask somebody who they were. But obviously some things broke down and I misunderstood, so it's fine. It's fine. The first project that we're going to be reading about is called the Philadelphia Experiment. And then after that, we have a very interesting story about an alien abduction that supposedly took place. It is one of the most credible alien abductions, specifically. My bad, I am me. Ah, that's fine. Wait a minute. Oh god, wait. I didn't even think about it. I don't know why I didn't even think about it. But you had like your own emotes and everything, and I should have assumed that you streamed. Guys, my brain is a little bit, my brain is a little broken. My brain is broken. Oh, really? You think so, Yogi? Also, welcome in. I hope you're having a lovely, lovely night. We got an ad break coming up here in just a second, so we're gonna take a short break. Oh, have a good night. You do have your own emotes. They're very cute. All right, everybody. Ad about to start. We'll be back in just a moment. Welcome back from the ads, everybody. I hope you didn't get anything too weird. I had to go to the little gamer's room. I can't help it. I just stay hydrated. Can't help it. Too small. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see the battle royale. I don't know who died and who won. Curses. I did forget a couple of my little guys. The only one I have within easy reach is this one. Cruising with 1 HP. God damn, babe. Get their ass. Get their ass. I like the crunchies. I cannot wait. I cannot wait to get more sensory toys. Dude. I think it'll be fun for making cool little sound effects during some of our radio play kind of streams. You didn't learn from when you faced me before. Don't double back, don't do it. Go for the health. And then you got a 180 roundhouse kick them in the skull. Oh, I should grab my tarot cards, I think. Mind you, how dare you? Shh. I should have my tarot cards ready in case anybody wants a reading. There you go. I can't think of anything else that would fit with doing the stories, but I do have some other little, like, fidget and sensory things. If you like little clickety clackies, I have a fidget cube. Read me, big dog. Read you stories. Oh, tarot reading? You got it. You got it. You got it. Alright. So I can't show it off, unfortunately, because I changed something about my camera setup that I don't like. So unfortunately I can't show them on stream. But I do have a very pretty, very, very pretty Homestuck tarot deck. And Rox, since this is a reading for you, if you would like to, take a moment, channel your feelings, and try to find something kind of specific that you want to ask about. I'll be receiving answers from the universe in a vague sense, but the energy that you put in should be significantly more targeted. So if there's anything in particular that's been on my mind, that's been on your mind, about things that are going on, messages you would like from the universe, focus in on that. I'm going to metaphysically channel that energy into the cards, and hopefully, if magic is real, we should be able to receive a clear answer back from the universe. Allow me to shuffle properly. Never seen a rule book. Wait, oh, in the Dust Bunny Wars? True, true. You all are savage. All of you are trained in guerrilla warfare, nothing else. You always go for the eyes. I did drop a card. Dang, specifics for real. Well, that's why you think about the very specific thing that's been weighing on you. And then the answers from the universe will kind of help guide on that particularly. I think of tarot as a nice meditative experience. You'll find the answers you're looking for. Amen, brother. We just gotta hope that the dealer picks us back up again, right? But if you are like a card that's fallen, that means you are a part of a deck, and there's somewhere that you do belong, filled with people who understand And even if they don't understand, they're there for you. So, as per usual, I will be doing a 3-card read. I have 3 cards set out in front of me. From left to right, if you'd like to imagine in your head, they are all facing vertically, and I'm going to flip them over while keeping that position, and we're going to see what they say. Our first card, representing the past, is the World, one of the most powerful of the Arcana. The Fool's Journey. Not necessarily a bad thing. The Fool card, I think, is pretty cool. The World represents integration, synthesis, accomplishment, blossoming, being active in a community, fulfillment, and wholesomeness. So whether you want to associate this with a distant past, something that may be very different from you, or something that you experienced more recently, this very specific sense of oneness with the world and everything in it, whether that's like kind of on a spiritual level of like you have a sense of oneness with nature and the earth itself, or that community connection that comes from being with other people. Very serendipitous of what we were just talking about. Very spooky, very spooky. Then our second card, that represents the present. I'm sorry. Do not take anything seriously. I am not a magical practitioner in any way, shape, or form. These are all supposed to be meditative experiences. The card representing the present is the Devil. The Devil's representation is entrapment, bondage, being stuck on the material plane, forgetting the spiritual, ignorance, hopelessness, depression, doubt, a lack of hope or faith. So, you know, it would be, not to get, like, too real, but, like, if anybody is, you know, keeping their eyes open, things are stressful right now. Things are turbulent in many ways and shapes and forms. I think how I would interpret this, as if it were a real message from the universe, is to ground yourself in that you are not the thing that is causing harm, and you are not being punished for any kind of spiritual transgression. These are consequences of others' actions that unfortunately we do not have all that much control over. However, I think that's something kind of fun about getting the World right before this one, is though we can't travel through time, when our lives have given us especially positive examples of things, positive examples of community, positive examples of what it is to be one with the world around you and walk compassionately in these things. Even if we break away from it, we can bring ourselves back to that time and kind of look inside of ourselves and see what led us to those more positive places. If it happened once, it can happen again. If everything was okay once upon a time, it can, and statistically speaking, will be okay again. That's just how I would take that, though. I'm a little bit of an optimist. I have not taken off the rose-colored glasses ever. Need to pull death for the future. Don't say that. Our future card. Oh, thank God it's not an Arcana. It is the 3 of Wands, and the image emboldened on it is that of a traveler wandering through the desert. Or not wandering. They look like they're about to start their journey. So let's see. Three of Wands, Three of Wands, Three of Wands. Where are you? The Three of Wands represents optimism and pride. It is about the hope felt after investing in a decision. This is the card of the newborn leader, someone who sets an example and believes in the soundness of their own decision. Upright, which it is. This card implies that the subject may feel assured of a decent payoff for their investments. Reversed, it serves as a warning not to rely on success, which is not assured. I know, but sometimes the cards are trying to be a little bit literal. Death is a transformation. That can be the transformation. Like, it does sound kind of nice, but not all transitions in life or through life are positive ones. Yeah, this one starts with describing it as bringing something to a close. If you take that message a little too literally, it might not be best. Maybe I have been reading too much like tarot symbolism or anything, because this feels like a very nice through line of ideas. We started with that sense of oneness with the world, people in it. Then we went to the devil, which sort of spins this. I'm sorry, I just saw a transformation into a corpse. I'm sorry, that's really funny. I'm trying not to laugh like an idiot. I'm sorry, I'm gonna steal that at some point. I'm absolutely gonna steal that. I think this is everything coming full circle. And the cards are encouraging to keep your head up, because there are brighter pastures on the other side of everything that's going on. Try to look for those little joys day to day, things that do give you things to look forward to. I know it sounds kind of silly, but since I really, really like food, something that I try to stay locked into is really cute food things or food events that are happening, if that makes sense. Cornflake chuffed on the key. Send it, no, don't do that, don't do that. What do you think Cornflake would type in chat? Some people's cats would absolutely put slurs in Twitch chat, but I don't think Cornflake would. She'd probably tell everybody just to give her treats, I bet. I like to look forward to all kinds of different silly little food things. It's so silly to say it out loud, but I did talk about it on Monday. There's a Kirby crossover with a sushi place that I do like quite a bit, and I don't know if I'll be able to go, but just the idea that it's there, I think is pretty cool, and it kind of gives me something to potentially look forward to. There's another one that I saw. I don't know where I could find these, but I really want to try them. There's Kuromi and My Melody noodle bowls. Melody is a carbonara flavor, and then Kuromi is like a spicy black bean kind of flavor. I really want to try them both, and they both look really cute. I like cute food. So that's little things day to day that I give myself to look forward to. Other than that, you know, keep your head held high. You've faced everything that you've come across in life so far. You got no reason to think that you wouldn't survive everything else, right? That's why I do try to keep the tarot readings light. They can be a little bit doom and gloom sometimes. Sir, you got this. You got this. I think we all got this. Just like I got a Wikipedia page about the Philadelphia experiment. This one is not... Let's see. This is not a short one. But... Let's see. I think I'd like to read through the breakdown of the story and then the evidence. Okay. No, this shouldn't take me too long to read. Never mind. Never mind. We're good. We're good. I'm gonna breathe a little bit. Oh, if you'd like to. If you'd like to. I always encourage people to be very careful about how much, especially like emotional, personal information that they give out and stuff like that on the internet, but whatever you're comfortable with, as long as it's not like super fucked up. All up to you. Cool. No thanks. Why did you ask it like you were allowed to? It's like you do whatever, but... But no, nobody ever has to tell me, like, what you're thinking about specifically if you request a reading. It can be purely meditative within yourself. That's fine. It's fine. We're not going to dwell on it too much. Okay. I had to cough. I also forgot to refill my water before we started, but we're going to pretend that it's fine. Alright. Was it if you should become a Jerboa? I think there's a few more questions one needs to ask themselves before they become a Jerboa. Not just past, present, and future questions. I think you need to ask if it's a physical possibility. Are you going for genetic warping? Are you doing it in like a zoophilia kind of way? Or not? No, that's the really just gross one. What's the one of people? There's like one in particular of people who like, it's kind of like furries, but they like to make the really weird in between human animal kind of suits. Usually more fleshy. Ah, it's fine. You guys don't need to worry about that. Am I a Jerboa? Maybe. Oh, you lie. Everybody is cute. Everybody is cute. Look at you. Wait, where are you? Where are you? Where are you? I've lost you. Where did you go? See? Look at this. You're adorable. No reason to think you're not. So cute. You're like a little pink gargoyle just like flying around. See? Everybody is cute in the eyes of the eternal void. That was a pretty clean landing, too. You should be very proud of that. Okay. Nah. You get that negative self-talk out of here. The story of the Philadelphia experiment originated in the late 1955 when Carl M. Allen sent an anonymous package marked Happy Easter, containing a copy of Morris K. Jessup's book, The Case of the UFO, Unidentified Flying Objects, to the U.S. Office of Naval Research. The book was filed with handwritten notes in its margins, written with 3 different shades of blue ink, appearing to detail a debate amongst 3 individuals, only one of whom is given a name, Jimmy. Jerboa is probably safe to Google, yeah? Probably. You should be fine. They commented on Jessup's ideas about the propulsion of flying saucers, discussed alien races, and expressed concern that Jessup was too close to discovering their technology. The commenters referred to each other as gypsies and discussed two different types of people living in outer space. Their text contained some non-standard use of capitalization and punctuation, and detailed a lengthy discussion of the merits of various elements of Jessup's assumptions in the book. There were oblique references to the Philadelphia experiment. One commenter reassures his fellow annotators who have highlighted a certain theory which Jessup advanced. So, as this is describing so far, it was when Carl M. sent an anonymous. Okay, so he didn't send it to anybody in specific. And it's weird that it says anonymous, and then it's like, oh wait, Carl M. sent it. I should have my corkboard. I should have my corkboard to take notes about things, shouldn't I? I don't even know where that is. I had it during the last time that we did this, and I just was keeping very silly little notes about things. So, the Naval Research Office of the United States received a copy of The Case of the UFO. I haven't read that one myself, but if I remember, Morris Jessup is one of the fairly prolific alien writers of the early 19th century. I think it was like the mid-50s? No, I don't remember. He was pretty prolific, though. UFO, Case for the UFO and Unidentified Flying Objects. It's what you would expect from... It's got, like, some, like, weird conspiracy kind of stuff in it, but its reputation is that there is an actual fair bit of data for extraterrestrial level UFO stuff. Nothing's perfect, obviously, but it's, I don't know, it's interesting. The other part that I'm curious about is, like, why the annotators of the book referred to themselves as gypsies. I can say that word, I'm one of them, but like, why they used that word in particular to describe themselves is very interesting. So, they were just essentially leaving, like, Reddit comments to each other, arguing about the validity of the book in the book, and then sent it to the US Office of Naval Research, which is so silly. What a bunch of silly little guys. Shortly thereafter, in January of 1956, Allen began sending a series of letters to Jessup, using his given name as well as Carlos Miguel and Allende. The first known letter warned Jessup not to investigate the levitation of unidentified flying objects. Allen put forward a story of dangerous science based on alleged unpublished theories by Albert Einstein. He further claimed that a scientist named Franklin Reno put these theories into practice at the Philadelphia Naval Shipyard in October of 1943. Allen claimed to have witnessed this experiment while serving aboard the SS Andrew Feruths. In Allen's account, a destroyer escort was successfully made invisible, but the ship inexplicably teleported to Norfolk, Virginia for several minutes, then reappeared in the Philadelphia yard. The ship's crew was supposed to have suffered various side effects, including insanity, intangibility, and being frozen in place. When Jessup wrote back requesting more information to corroborate his story, Allen said his memory would have to be recovered, and referred Jessup to what seems to be a non-existent Philadelphia newspaper article that Allen claimed covered the incident. Dangerous science-based. How dare. How dare. I'm not doing any kind of dangerous science. One would argue the things that I did were, magical in nature. How else do you think you'd get picked up by an fucking an eldritch entity that represents the nothingness of space that will reconsume itself? You gotta do some weird, fucked up, esoteric shit to do that. I didn't kill anything. Or anyone. So don't worry about that. No, that's how you get turned into a worm. Very different. Very different. Although if the doll does in fact just like take care of you and nurse you until you take the place of the moon presence, then it is kind of like that, because the void does sustain me. Again, more like a Tamagotchi than a person. That's fine. That's fine. It's not that big of a deal. Don't worry about it. What's it like not having thumbs? So okay, this is more stuff that I'm even like extra curious about. I want to know more about the supposed article that covered everything. Liberating. God damn it. God damn it. You gotta have a very special controller to figure out how to play all kinds of Soulsborne likes. Alright, where were we? Alan put forward a story of dangerous science based on alleged unpublished theories by Albert Einstein. He further claimed a scientist named Franklin Reno. Okay, wait, so who is... Alan is just the only named person in the notes, right? No. That's Jimmy. Who the fuck is Alan? Shortly thereafter... Yeah, who is Alan? They don't actually say here. God damn it, Wikipedia, you've confused me. You've confused me. Oh. Okay, no. Carl M. Allen is the guy who sent the package? Again, it says that he sent it anonymously, but I guess they just figured out who he was later. So he started sending letters to Jessup specifically after he sent the package to the Naval Research Office. Funky, okay. I'm very curious about what his intentions were. Alan claimed to have witnessed the... Oh, no, we read this part too. He claimed to have been aboard the ship that had not just gone invisible, but teleported. In 1957, Jessup was invited to the Office of Naval Research, where he was shown the annotated copy of his book. Jessup noticed that the handwriting of the annotations resembled a letter that he had received from Alan. 12 years later, Alan would say that he authored all of the annotations in order to, quote, scare the hell out of Jessup. Is this just the boys pranking each other? 2 officers at the Naval Office, Captain Sidney Sherby and Commander George W. Hoover, took a personal interest in the matter. Hoover later explained that his duties as Special Projects Officer required him to investigate many publications, and that he ultimately found nothing of substance to the alleged invisibility experiment. Hoover discussed the annotations with Austin Stanton, president of Varro Manufacturing Corporation of Garland, Texas, during the meeting about Varro's contract work for the Naval Office. That's interesting. That's interesting that it spread so far. That does kind of like lend credence that Hoover, like at the very least, thought the claims were worth fully investigating, and so then contacted what did the... I assume Varro Manufacturing made, like, planes and stuff. That would make sense. What did they do? What did they do? Okay, maybe not. Maybe not. Oh, wow. Oh, they got some spooky pictures on their website. Oh. It looks like that they did stuff with, like, firefighters. That's an interesting person to reach out to then about the supposed claim of flying saucers and things being able to teleport. Funky. Funky. It's Alan from Spine. Now, if there's any quote for Alan throughout this, I am gonna read it. I'm just gonna have to read it like that. We must investigate the presence of UFOs. Do you like my 3 different colors of pen ink that I made it look like I was having conversations with myself? Yes, Alan, it looks great. Wonderful. Good job. Stanton became so interested that Varro's office began producing micrographed copies of Jessup's book with the annotations and Alan's letters, first a dozen and eventually 127 copies. These copies came to be known as the Varro edition, besides noting handwriting of the individual named Jemmy, addressed as such by the others and using blue-violet ink. Ooh. The anonymous introduction to the Varro edition concludes that there are 2 other individuals making annotations, Mr. A, identified as Alan by Jessup in blue ink, and Mr. B in blue-green ink. Jack Parsons? No idea. Wait, no, that sounds familiar. Jack Parsons. Who is this person? Who are you? Oh, yeah. Okay. Sorry. Nope, I did recognize his name. Rocket engineer, chemist, and Thelamite occultist. I believe I've only done research into his relation with occultism and his presence in the, like, early 1900s, like, spooky spiritualism movement that was going on at that time. Wait, what do you mean? I don't know what you mean, Rock. Did you not know that Jack Parsons was a real person? Bro, now I'm just confused. How dare you? One of the articles is from the Science History Institute. The sex cult Antichrist who rocketed us to space. I got another thing to read later. I got something else to read later. Oh, cool. Oh, cool. Alright. So it wasn't specifically that... I guess Stanton didn't reach out to Var. No, it was Hoover. Hoover was the one that reached out to Var originally. I'm curious. If Hoover was reaching out to this company so much so that they made, like, this distributable dissertation of the information that they had been sent, like the fact that they did make 127 copies and they compiled all this kind of stuff together, even though it wasn't necessarily stuff that the company worked on normally. It's okay, it's fine. We all say confusing stuff sometimes. Okay. I'm so curious why they got into, like really got into this one. Jessup tried to publish more books on the subject of UFOs, but was unsuccessful. He lost his publisher and experienced a succession of downturns in his personal life and died by suicide in Florida on April 30th of 1959. That was 2 years later. My God, the poor guy. There's literally like government agents that are going to private corporations and being like, we need to get to the bottom of this, and then this guy like publicly, like, his whole life falls apart. That's so sad. That's so sad. The various book writers who tried to get more information from Carl Allen found his responses elusive or couldn't find him at all. One reporter from Allen's hometown of New Kingston, Pennsylvania, interviewed his family and was handed a pile of documents and books, all scribbled with Allen's annotations. They described Allen as a fantastic mind, but also a drifter and master leg puller. Drive safe! Drive safe! Don't chat and drive. Just drive safe. Sorry, I had to read it one more time. A master leg puller. Okay, yeah, so I have a feeling that Alan was just being very silly about all of this. That's so unfortunate. The second section is repetitions. In 1965, Vincent Gaydos published a book of Fortina titled Invisible Horizons, True Mysteries of the Sea. In it, he recounted the story of the experiment from the Varro annotations. George E. Simpson and Neil R. Berger published a 1978 novel titled Thin Air. In this book, set in the present day, a Naval Investigation Service officer investigates several threads linking wartime invisibility experiments to a conspiracy involving matter transmission technology. Large-scale popularization of the book came about in 1979 when the author Charles Berlitz, who had written the best-selling book on the Bermuda Triangle, and his co-author UFOologist William L. Moore published The Philadelphia Experiment, Project Invisibility, which purported to be a factual account. The book expanded on stories of bizarre happenings, lost unified field theories by Albert Einstein, and government cover-ups, all based on Allen's letters to Jessup. Moore and Berlitz devoted one of the last chapters of the Philadelphia Experiment to the force fields of Townsend Brown, namely the experimenter and the U.S. Navy technician Thomas Townsend Brown. Paul Laviolette's 2008 book, Secrets of Anti-Gravity Propulsion, also recounts some mysterious involvement of Townsend Brown. Ooh, so what did he do? He was an American inventor whose experiments and research on electricity-based anti-gravitational observable momentum by ionizing different materials led him to believe he discovered a type of anti-gravity. He believes this was caused by strong electrical fields. Ah, funky. Instead of anti-gravity, what Brown observed was generally been attributed to electrodynamics, the movement of charged particles that transfer their momentum to surrounding neutral particles in the air, also called ionic drift. That's cool. That's so cool. It's not anti-gravity or you know, whatever. That's still really cool. I like that. Alright, and then the last big reference that it had. Finally, the story was adapted in 1984 time travel film called The Philadelphia Experiment, directed by Stuart Raffill. Though only loosely based on the prior accounts of the, quote, experiment, it served to dramatize the core elements of the original story. In 1989, Alfred Balek claimed to have been aboard the USS Eldridge during the experiment. Not Eldridge, Eldridge. That's a little too close, though. Enjoy your lyric luminescence. Also, welcome in. I do hope that you're having a lovely, lovely night. Addressing the Mutual UFO Network conference in 1990, Bialik asserted that Raphael's film was largely consistent with the events he claimed to have witnessed in 1943. Bialik would later add details to his claims on radio talk shows, conferences, and the internet. Well, thanks for that, Bialik. Cool. This is all, like, super fascinating. I didn't read the top part, which was like the breakdown of the experiment, because I wanted all of the abstract bits from it first. But, you know, thank you, Rox, for the gifted sub. I hope you're not chatting and driving. Please don't chat and drive. That's very, very dangerous. Please prioritize your safety. But thank you. Thank you for the gifted. That's very kind of you. I don't know why the bar isn't full. That's weird, but, sub goals met, baby. Let's go. Thank you so much for your generosity. It's very, very kind of you. Where was I? Oh god. I got mixed up. I got mixed up where I was. Okay. Now we have the actual, the general synopsis of what occurred. Supposedly. Allegedly. The experiment was allegedly based on an aspect of some unified field theory, a term coined by Albert Einstein to describe a class of potential theories, such as theories that would aim to describe mathematically and physically the interrelated nature of the forces of electromagnetism and gravity. So, unified field theory is a type of field theory that allows all fundamental forces of nature, including gravity and all elementary principles, to be written in terms of a single physical field. According to quantum field theory, particles are themselves the quanta of fields. Ah, right. Oh, yes, I do remember this. I used to be really, really into quantum theory stuff. So there's a lot of funny things going on there. Only math that has ever actually made sense in my head. According to some accounts, unspecified researchers thought that a theory of this type would enable using large electrical generators to bend light around an object via refraction, so that the object became completely invisible. The Navy regarded this as of military value, and it has sponsored the experiment. So there's... Oh, I got like declassifieds to read after this. Dude, I'm gonna lose my mind. Next paragraph. Sorry. Another attributed version of the story proposes that researchers were preparing magnetic and gravitational measures on the sea floor to detect anomalies, supposedly based on Einstein's attempts to understand gravity. In this version, there were also related experiments in Nazi Germany to anti-gravity, allegedly led by SS Hans Kammer. I have no desire to read these people's names with any respect, obviously, so we're just going to call him Hans. Oh god. Another weird Nazi with a weirdly tiny face. Why do they all have tiny faces? This man has like 6 head, bro. Not a thought behind those eyes, though. Okay. I get fascinated by it. In the terms of history, I get fascinated by it. Any experiments that were being conducted in Nazi Germany and then carried over to the countries that assimilated those scientists, just in case everybody wasn't aware, scientists were assimilated by multiple countries, not just the United States, but multiple countries after World War II. It was effectively sort of deals that the Nazi scientists struck with the different governments to try and get the research that they were working on. Because regardless to everything that was going on, they did a lot of different stuff, and there was a lot of very weirdly conclusive data that came from a lot of those experiments. So in the terms of conspiracy theories, one thing in particular that stands out is the Nazi scientists that had been working on the effectively heroin that they were giving to Nazi soldiers, which made them so insane and so brutal on the battlefield, is more than likely similar derivative to heroin that the United States government and the CIA distributed into low-income and black communities during the 1960s. Funky conspiracy theory that we actually have a lot of data for. So whenever it comes to, obviously anything with like military application, you can imagine that a lot of those scientists definitely got picked up. But if they were very specifically studying not just stealth technology, but kind of these ideas that exist within quantum physics, this is data that would have carried over whenever they were assimilated. All of it is still evil, by the way. All of it is still evil, 100%. Doesn't matter who doing it, it's all still evil. But that is fascinating. They did have an incredibly robust, understanding with quantum physics stuff. I'm gonna have to look more into this. I need the data. Okay, so then after that, there are no reliable or attributed accounts, but in most accounts of the supposed experiment, USS Eldridge was fitted with the required equipment at the Philadelphia Naval Shipyard. Testing began in the summer of 1943, and it was supposedly successful to a limited extent. One test resulted in Eldridge being rendered nearly invisible, with some witnesses reporting a greenish fog appearing in its place. Crew members complained of severe nausea afterwards. Ooh, I don't even want to know what chemicals they just vaporized into the air to create a green fog. Allegedly, when the ship reappeared, some sailors were embedded in the metal structures of the ship, including one sailor who ended up on the deck level below where he began and his hand embedded in the steel hull of the ship, as well as some sailors who went completely bananas, in quotes. There is also a claim that the experiment was altered after that point at the request of the Navy, limiting it to creating a stealth technology that would render USS Eldridge invisible to radar. None of these allegations have been independently substantiated. I would imagine, okay, again, buying that the whole thing is actually real. Who knows? They have not provided, any data to suggest that this was something that took place. But yeah, if I had US naval officers that literally clipped into a ship when we tried to turn it invisible, I'm sorry, no, I would not be telling people about that. I'd not be telling people about that. No, thank you. It literally is just the collision on a texture got funny and now your player model is half sticking out of the ground. No, I'm sorry, I would not have wanted to tell anybody about that in 1943. Sorry. I would have been a part of the conspiracy. Ain't no way people can handle this. These people are still eating lead, regularly. Other versions of the story give the date of the experiment as October 28th, 1943. In this version, Eldridge not only became invisible, but disappeared from the area and teleported to Norfolk, Virginia, over 200 miles or 320 kilometers away. It is claimed that Eldridge sat for some time in a view of men aboard the ship SS Andrew Furuseth, whereupon Eldridge vanished and then reappeared in Philadelphia at the site it had originally occupied. Many versions of the tale include descriptions of serious side effects for the crew. Some crew members were said to have been physically fused to the bulkheads, while others suffered from mental disorders. Some rematerialized inside out, and still others vanished. It is also claimed that the ship's crew may have been subjected to brainwashing to maintain the secrecy of the experiment. Considering how the United States government likes to handle things, do you think they cut up the ship to free the men, or do you think they cut up the men to free the ship? I'm going for the second one, personally. I'm going for the second one. You wouldn't have to keep anybody quiet if they were literally flipped inside out like a sock. Brother, come on. That's the only thing. Okay. I do like to consider myself, and I know this word is touchy for some people, I do like to consider myself a skeptic. But what that means to me usually lands me on the side of the weird thing that's happened. So as an example, Mothman. In the reports of the very first sighting of Mothman, the two couples that were both married adult couples claim to have seen Mothman, a man-shaped entity with a 10-foot wingspan with glowing red eyes. That was their description that they had given. One of the first people to come forward was a nature biologist, or not nature biologist, animal biologist. It was an animal biologist that said that they probably just saw a very particular type of herring, because this herring has these reflective red patterns on the lower half, under the lower half of its eyes. Problem being, that bird does not have a flight pattern that takes it through anywhere near Point Pleasant, West Virginia. Just that alone. 2, that bird is nowhere near a creature man-sized or having a 10-foot wingspan. I don't like it when people who are just trying to disprove supernatural stuff just are like, oh, you just missaw, it was absolutely this thing. I don't like it, and it annoys me. It's this idea that people who see and experience these things just shouldn't be trusted because they're claiming something outrageous, instead of believing the testimony of these individuals and then working from that point and trying to make it make sense to their description. I think that's incredibly disingenuous to any kind of discussion about strange things going bump in the night, you know? Mako, welcome in. I'm a little confused about what the emote is. When I saw it tiny, I thought it was a pickle holding a cross. I thought it was a pickle holding a cross. I thought you were just like, be gone, evil. Yeah, it looks like it's like a little group of crusader pickles that are just like, be gone, evil. Is it like a clove? Or a toothpick? Is one of those really fancy? It's being tossed. What the fuck? I'm confused. I've been confused a lot tonight. I think I got a cold. Which is perfect. It's perfect when your brain is in a silly place. Oh, baby! Oh, I like that one. Oh, I like that one. That key cat was animated with love. I'm a sucker for emote art, but I've made all of mine. I like seeing the really, really cute things that people do. My favorite one. Oh, I'm sorry, everybody. We have an ad break coming up here in just a moment. So we're going to take a little break from reading. Please do take some time to take care of yourself if you need to get more water, like I do. If you need to stretch your legs, go to a little gamer's room. We're going to take a proper break, so it's going to be about maybe like 5 to 8 minutes or so. Please take time to take care of yourself during that time. We'll also have an ad pop up, so you know if you want to walk away from that, Can't blame you. Oh, baby, oh, baby, oh, baby, oh. These little guys are adorable. I love them. Oh my god. They're all so cute. I love them. Wait, where are my favorites? Where are my favorites? I do have 7 TV emotes, but I don't know if anybody ever notices or uses them or if it's just me. I have a lot of cute ones. I have a lot of really cute ones. Mostly the ones that pop up is that I do have one that's just Raven, and I see it. So whenever anybody uses my name in chat, I see a little animation of a raven walking. It's adorable. I love them. Let's see, which ones are my favorite? I like... Nobody uses this one, but I like it. And, oh, I made a Cleep Glort. Cozy. Oh yeah, and Creature. Those ones are my favorite out of the ones I've made. I think they turned out pretty good. I drew all of my emotes in a strange, time crunch induced fugue state. That one's pretty good. That one's pretty good. That one was also animated with a lot of love. I love it when you can tell. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. They absolutely animated that with some love. Love it. This one is interesting. I'll have to read more about the Philadelphia experiment stuff. We still have a little bit more on the page itself, including the evidence and research, so I'll be excited to get into that whenever we come back. Ads are about to start, my lovelies. Please do take time to take care of yourself, and we will be back in just a moment. Hey man, did you get those photos printed?
Ongoing printed.
Welcome back, everybody. Where am I?
Hello.
I got some more water finally. I did not realize how parched I was. Kind reminder to stay hydrated. I need a... maybe not a cup holder. I need like something really squishy so I don't accidentally slam down my giant water bottle. That's not my name. Who the fuck is Mary? I don't know a Mary. Magdalene? Bro. No clue. No clue. Of course, the Catholics claim that they have her, but won't let anybody do any DNA testing on the remains. Seems pretty suspect to me. I don't know, man. That would be a fun, spooky little deep dive. Oh shit. Sorry. My brain, it was just like, this is just a quiet hangout, just chatting stream now. Excuse me. Are we good? Is the body sound? Is the mind? We're not gonna ask about the mind. Is the body sound now? I think so. I think we're okay. Welcome back, everybody. What was I saying? We were reading about, we were on the last little bit of the... No, we had gotten into the... Okay. We were about to start reading the evidence and research section for the Philadelphia Project, which again, so far, has been presented to us as a potentially a very, very silly practical joke that some fucking dude named Alan played on the US government and one other dude who was really into UFOs. His life didn't turn out great, which makes me very sad, but for those of you who have not been with us so far through this story, this is the Philadelphia Project. We have not actually read about the project itself, just little abstracts from things that were going on about it and references that there were to it. But supposedly, the U.S. Naval Research Office received a package containing a book about UFOs by a very prolific UFO writer at the time that had been annotated in a way that it looked like that three separate people were having a conversation with each other. Perfect time, Rocks. Perfect time, Rocks. I'm summarizing what we've read so far. Welcome back. Glad you got home safe. Don't forget to stay hydrated. Don't forget to stay hydrated. Get yourself a little snack. You deserve it. Dude, cheese and crackers? Cheese and crackers? That'd be pretty cool. I kind of want some cheese and crackers, but I gotta save that for later. I drink so much. Well, okay, then you might be fine. You have some juice. I don't know. Juice is pretty cool. Wait, okay, where was I? Wait. I gotta backtrack myself. The U.S. Navy Research Office had received a package containing a book about UFOs and sightings that had at the time been written by one of the most prolific writers about UFOs and extraterrestrial happenings. But the book itself was annotated in a way that it seemed like three separate people were having an on-running conversation and debate with each other about the information presented in the book, propping up some theories and information, shooting down other ones, that kind of thing. This book gets passed around the U.S. Naval Research Office until it falls in the hands of What was his station? It was like it was George W. Hoover. What was his station? Where is he? His name was highlighted before, but now I can't find it. Oh, there he is. Oh, he was a commander. A commander at the research office got a hold of it and this was kind of his main role, was researching when these types of things came up. And either from the way that the book itself was written or the annotations or kind of just the whole weird feel around it, he felt compelled to research it a bit more and see what was going on. One particular facet that he was fascinated was the supposed incident called the Philadelphia experiment, where a ship in the Philadelphia shipyard that was running a test to see if they could turn it invisible using unified field theory ended up teleporting to another shipyard over 200 miles away for several minutes and then teleported back with multiple members of the crew fused into the ship, left in crazed, deranged states, or, in one particular case, flipped inside out. Obviously, there's a lot to unpack here. We just got to the evidence and research section, which I'm very interested in. I want to see, because they haven't presented anything as if there's a paper trail or anything like that. It's all just speculation, conversation, just this kind of fun spreading of rumors. The amount of everything that's gone into it so far would suggest to me that there was something worth looking into that the Naval Office themselves might have been aware of but didn't tell anybody else, if it makes sense. No, time to get in PJs and install my new monitor. Oh, that sounds nice. Oh, that sounds nice. Hell yeah. Kick ass. I was driving while listening about some... That would be really funny. That would be really funny. We have gotten, that was the other part. What was it? That there were crew members aboard an adjacent ship in the shipyard that claimed that they did see this happen and were also exposed to some kind of compound that made them physically ill in a way. Oh, you can absolutely take things for joyrides in the Navy. Don't ask me how I know. Or what if they repainted the name on two ships better? Oh, that'd be so silly. They did describe one of the visual things that the crew members of the adjacent ship described was that a green fog sort of encapsulated everything for a moment. So maybe they could have just gotten the captain, like, to... Did they have fog machines in the 1940s? I'm gonna pretend like they did. He picked up a fog machine from Party City. He dropped some green food coloring in there, dropped some, like, funky smelling something or other, and then just, like, let it fucking go. He just let it go. And then in the fog and the confusion, they messed with, like, the ship and made it look like it'd been out of place. That'd be pretty spooky. That alone would be pretty spooky. That's a hell of a prank. But then the guy, fucking Carl Allen, tried to claim that people were, like, fused into the ship. All of this, like, crazy, like, super, super crazy stuff. Also, the people who knew him personally described him as a prankster. I don't know if I trust Alan very much. I don't know about this. But then that makes me curious why so much research went into it. Was it a redirection? Is there something actually of substance here? Military grade fart bomb was basically the joke I was gonna make, yeah. I decided to retract. I'm better than that. Fuse the crew to the ship. It's just a prank, bro. Fucking military grade super glue. Military grade super glue. I always do. There's plenty of people that make them. I don't need to. It's a personal challenge to myself. Alright. Evidence and research. I kind of want to do this part with the... like, actually making it sound like a little bit of a radio show. Do we want to get real immersed? Why would you think I wouldn't? I take every opportunity to be a silly little guy. Why would you suggest such a thing? It's also really easy. It's like one button. I got this shit on lockdown. Don't even. The historian Mike Dash notes that many authors who publicized the Philadelphia experiment story after that of Jessup appeared to have conducted little or no research of their own. Through the late 70s, for example, Allen was often described as mysterious and difficult to locate, but GeoMan determined Allen's identity after only a few telephone calls. Others speculate that much of the key literature emphasizes dramatic embellishment rather than pertinent research. Give me the research. Berlitz and Moore's account of the story, The Philadelphia Project Experiment, Project Invisibility, claimed to include factual information, such as transcripts of an interview with scientists involved in the experiment, but their work has also been criticized for plagiarizing key story elements from the novel Thin Air, which was published a year earlier. Personnel at the 4th Naval District have suggested that the alleged event was a misunderstanding of routine research during World War II at the Philadelphia shipyard. One theory is that, quote, the foundation of the apocryphal stories arose from degaussing experiments which have the effect of making a ship undetectable or, quote, invisible to magnetic mines, end quote. Although possible origin of the stories about levitation, teleportation, and effects on human crew might be attributed to experiments with the generating plant of the destroyer USS Timberman, or D-828, wherein a higher frequency generator produced chronoa discharges, although none of the crew reported suffering effects from the experiment. What was A corona discharge is an electrical discharge caused by the ionizing of a fluid, such as air surrounding a conductor, carrying a high voltage. The discharge appears in cases where the voltage exceeds a critical value, but an electrical arc cannot form. Instead, the discharge appears as a colored glow around an object. I'm looking at the pictures for this. Oh! Is it? The machines kind of look similar to those big Tesla coils that you see some people use in, like, stage shows and stuff like that. But it's more plasma-y, if that makes sense. Like the fact of the color, and I can tell that it's something that's basically super hot, but it's a wave of color. It doesn't look like flame at all. so curious about this now. Coronas can generate audible and radio frequency noise, particularly near electrical power transmission lines. Therefore, power transmission equipment is designed to minimize the formation of corona discharge. Oh, this is fascinating. I need to learn more about that. That's cool. So, okay. To wrap my head around it real quick. Another possible origin of the stories about levitation, teleportation, and effects on human crew might be attributed to experiments with the generating plant of the destroyer SS Timberman, wherein a higher frequency generator produced corona discharges, although none of the crew reported suffering effects from the experiment. Huh. Just, I don't know why that would... I hate that they don't explain why they think that that would have been the answer. It's like, wait, was this... Are corona discharges related to making things levitate and teleport? What do you mean? Gojira, welcome in. I hope you're having a lovely night. Oh my god, look at that little guy dance. Get it, get it, get it, get it, get it, get it, get it. Welcome in. We're currently reading about the Philadelphia experiment, which is supposedly an event where a ship in a shipyard not only went invisible, but teleported, and all kinds of fucked up stuff happened. People fused with the ship. One dude got flipped inside out like a sock. It's fucking crazy. Hope you're having a lovely night. I know, right? It's so much. We're reading through the evidence and research, so it's a lot of... I'm trying to wrap my head around technical scientific information to understand where different parties are coming from, whether they believe the incident was real or not. I actually wouldn't be surprised. One of the pictures on the corona discharge page does look like something very Half-Life-like, where I kind of had to double take. I was like, is that a real picture? It looks like that's rendered in a video game. It is really neat. Actually, I don't know why I thought this wouldn't be the vibe. One moment. You guys ever wanted to be on TV? Oh, and it's already set up. Hell yeah. Wait, do I also have this? No, I don't. This will be the better one. Hell yeah, guys. Check this shit out. I understand if the text is a little bit weird to read, but I do think it looks very cute, and I can show you the pictures a lot easier. Is it the Borealis in an iceberg? Was this incident? Who knows? I'm sorry. I have been informed that the 8-ball is insufferable. Please do not drive yourself crazy trying to talk to her. She is... Oh, she's a card. She's a... all completely by design. 8-ball, the little ask that. I refer to her as 8-ball. In my head, she's an actual character in canon. And she is so ruthless. So ruthless. She'll drive people crazy. It's happened a couple of times. Okay. So in the research section, where was it? It was the corona discharges. Check this shit out. Check this shit out. Look at this. That absolutely looks like something that would be in Half-Life. It's very funky. I would not be surprised if Valve got some inspiration from this. This feels very like... Well, considering that it supposedly happened in, like, during World War II, that's early enough that I would imagine that this is the event that very heavily influences, like, horror science fiction when they write about some ship or vessel, whether seafaring or space-wise, that just like poofs and then it comes back and it's got demons on it, you know? It's electromagnetic pulse, right? Yes, yes. I think, well, sorry, I said that with certainty, but I'm not, to my understanding, yeah. It's electromagnetic discharge. No. It's an electrical discharge caused by the ionizing of fluid, such as air surrounding a conductor. I'm not certain, and it's okay. It's okay. I don't have to be 100% certain. I can loop back around to it. Apparently just electric, not electromagnetic. The way that it looks like it's turning the electricity or like the air into plasma, kind of. That's just what it looks like. I don't know if that's also it. Are they the same thing? Electric and electromagnetic? Are you sure? Oh no, I don't mean that in any kind of a mean way. Just, are you sure? I'm not sure anymore. Let's get back to reading about this silliness. Observers have argued. Sorry, one sec. Observers have argued that it is inappropriate to grant credence to an unusual story promoted by one individual in the absence of corroborating evidence. Robert Gierman, he popped up earlier, wrote in Fate magazine in 1980 that Carlos Allen, right? He went by two different names. Carl Allen, who is said to have corresponded with Jessup, was Carl Meredith Allen of New Kingston, Pennsylvania. Oh, it's the skeptic drama. I love when skeptics fucking get so obsessed, infatuated, one might say, with some silly little guy that's claiming supernatural stuff of some kind. I love it when the skeptics get obsessed because it gets so catty. It's delightful. Who had established history of psychiatric illness, and who may have fabricated the primary history of the experiment as a result of his mental illness. Jurymen later realized that Allen was a family friend and a creative and imaginative loner, sending bizarre writings and claims. Oh, he absolutely wanted to kiss him. Oh my god. Robert absolutely wanted to kiss Allen on the mouth. You can't tell me otherwise. He goes from just being like, oh, Allen is this guy that wrote all of this stuff and sent it to the United States Navy. This guy that sent all this to them and like did a lot of work to do this is just some like mentally ill weirdo. You know, he's probably just sick. Probably just needs some help. And then he finds out that the guy who sent the book to the research office was a family friend. And then after that point described him as a creative and imaginative loner. Oh, he absolutely wanted to kiss him on the mouth. That's not something you just say about a bro. Alright. Robert was infatuated with the whimsy and shenanigans. Timeline inconsistencies. Alright, now we're getting to specifics. Oh. I'm sorry, not everybody is in it. One of the most fascinating things with exploring anything conspiracy-wise is the human element to it. The people that are involved, the people who make claims, the people who research, the people who orchestrate the conspiracies and everything. I've done a lot of research about this kind of thing over the course of my life. Every single time there's some men getting into shenanigans with each other in a way that with 100% certainty in my heart getting your other bros really specifically obsessed with this particular thing, and then just going with it. Gay stuff. Gay stuff. It's pretty obvious to me in a lot of these stories that there's something like that going on, but I ham it up a little bit. Cause it's just dudes getting up to fucking mischief and shenanigans. Like if the Philadelphia experiment actually was just like a big prank, no matter what, if it was Carl orchestrating the story as a prank, or if this event did take place and it was just a big prank, either way, it's a little bit of manly mischief going on. Manly mischief always contains kissing the bros. Always. Or this was actual, like, crazy, supernatural, scientific breakthrough kind of stuff. History would also suggest that there's a lot of men kissing men in those kinds of instances, so, you know. Essentially, yeah, you got it. You got it. I also just think it's cute. I think it's adorable that the way that he described this person, having the contextualization of them as just a weird individual, to being like, oh, I know that guy. Oh, what a silly guy. Oh, he's just a silly little guy. Oh, amen. Amen. It's one of my favorite things is people realizing that history is so gay. History is so gay. It's wonderful. I know, right? Just boys getting up to mischief. All the time. Timeline inconsistencies. Oh wait. I was talking with my filter on this whole time. Never mind, I don't gotta do nothing. Sweet. The USS Eldridge was not commissioned. Okay, it's also just super spooky that it's called the Eldridge, and it's just funnily close enough to Eldridge, you know? That's ironic as shit. That's so fucking funny. Not gonna let anybody convince me otherwise. It was not commissioned until August 27th, 1943, and it remained in port in New York City until September 1943. The October experiment allegedly took place while the ship was on its first shakedown cruise in the Bahamas, which conspiracy theorists try to explain by claiming the ship's logs might have been falsified or else still be classified. Completely justified position to have. Bongo's Binted.
Yibby-dibby.
I'm sorry, I love Gleep Glorbs too. That's another really fun thing that people do now. I love the little Gleep Glorbs. But yeah, that's a completely rational point to just be like, look, dude, the records could be falsified. It's the 1940s. That's a really easy thing to do. Conspiracy theorists also attempt to explain away the inconsistency by claiming that the USS Hammond, or DE-131, was actually used rather than the USS Eldridge, as USS Hammond arrived in the shipyard on October 20th, 1943, ignoring the eyewitness statements from Carl M. Allen, which launched the hoax in the first place. Okay. Lord. That does kind of potentially conveniently make it fit well into our theory that they just changed the name of the ship. Like, just wrote over it, and then maybe took it off later. I'm not gonna lie, we got some smart cookies here in chat. We got some potential clairvoyance going on, you know. I think we bear trapped that. I think we bear trapped that pretty well. The Office of Naval Research stated in September of 1996 has never conducted investigations on radar invisibility. That's a blatant lie. That's a blatant fucking lie. Either in 1943 or at any other time, pointing out that the ONR was not established until 1946. It denounces the accounts of the Philadelphia experiment as complete science fiction. You cannot tell me that the Naval Research Office, as of the year that I was born, had not at any point tried to see if it was possible to make a ship invisible on radar. Blatantest of lie. I need to make sure to include a tinfoil hat in my in some of my model stuff I need to work on. I need a toggle for Wait, I'm so sorry. Hold on, I'm gonna be silly. I'm gonna be silly for a second. Is it a real PNG? No, you lied to me. You son of... That one is, though. Hell yeah. Beautiful. Alright, alright. I'm also gonna vaporize for a quick second. Be right back. Is this right? Yeah. I completely forgot that this was something that I can and should do more often. Why is it so tiny? It's so tiny. No! This isn't what I want. This isn't what I wanted at all. No. Okay. Why won't it get bigger? Do I have to? Oh. Oh, I see what I'm doing wrong. I didn't know that tinfoil hats would be so hard to make. Oh my god. And here I thought stickers couldn't be all that funny. No, you gotta give yourself the little antenna so it can like negatively charge the signals coming in, you know, and refract them back. That's what you gotta do, obviously. Teleported? No, I just went invisible in this case. Ooh, there you go. Sorry. What is... My love, what does that mean? My love, what does that mean? I'm not reading that out and having you trick me into summoning something. Oh, it's got physics on it too. That's fun. Wait, would that block your access to our screens? No? No, it's just weird radio signals coming in. There's something special about the signals that I send out. Something special about it. Maybe a little bit more, arcane, so to say, if you want to think of it like that. Where were we? Oh, right. Reading blatant lies. Blatant lies, blatant lies. I did do some, like, fun research on some radio frequency stuff recently, and it was really cool to look into. Just, like, how many different... What's the word I want to use? Like, the range that there is, and how many different things operate off of radio waves that you might not even expect. There is, like, an exact frequency to a lot of different things. like cosmic background radiation does actually have a frequency. I think it's, oh, what was it? It was like 6 something. Oh, I can't remember it. No, I had it and then it was gone. I don't know what ULF stands for, I'm sorry. Also, that cozy little emote in chat is Kruznik signaling to us that he is heading off to bed for the night. Everybody say good night, Kruznik. Only I get to say good night, my love, I love you. On our next break, I'll go make sure he gets all tucked in and everything. In the meantime, a reunion of naval veterans who had served aboard the USS Eldridge told a Philadelphia newspaper in April of 1999 that their ship had never made a port in Philadelphia. Further evidence discounting the Philadelphia experiment timeline comes from the USS Eldridge's complete World War II action report, including the remarks section of the deck in 1943, available on microfilm. Wait, what does it say, though? It just says that it's there. What did the microfilm say? Give me the dissertation, you son of a bitch. Alternative explanations. I like some microfiche. Researcher Jacques Vallée describes a procedure on board USS Ingstrom, which was docked alongside the Eldridge in 1943. The operation involved the generation of power and electromagnetic field on board the ship in order to perm or degauss it, with the goal of rendering the ship undetectable or invisible to magnetically fused undersea mines and torpedoes. This system was invented by a Canadian Charles F. Goodeve, that's such a Canadian name, when he held the rank of commander in the Royal Canadian Naval Volunteer Reserve and the Royal Navy, and other navies used widely during World War II. So it's just... I don't know if they're trying to attribute the actual... like the spooky part of the event taking place, or just people thinking that something spooky took place on board the Eldridge, which I'm very curious about. I think that's important to specify, is it's just, are they claiming that people thought something was happening? Or maybe why? I don't know. British ships in the area often included such degaussing systems built into the upper decks. The conduits are still visible on the deck of the HMS Belfast? Oh, that's cool. In London, for example, degaussing is still used today. However, it has no effect on visible light or radar. Vallée speculates that accounts of the USS Ingstrom's degaussing might have been garbled and confabulated, I don't know why that word's highlighted, in subsequent retellings, and that these accounts have influenced the story of the Philadelphia experiment. Vallée cites a veteran who served on board the USS Ingstrom and who suggests that it might have traveled from Philadelphia to Norfolk and back again in a single day at the time when merchant ships could not, by use of the Chesapeake and Delaware Canal and Chesapeake Bay, which at the time was only open to naval vessels. Use of the channel was kept quiet. German submarines had ravaged the shipping along the east coast during the operational drumbeat, and thus the military ships, unable to protect themselves, were secretly moved via canals to avoid the threat. Alan, get that information out of your mouth. It's getting all fucked up. Alan, get it out of there. Spit it out. Alan! The same veteran claims to be the man that Alan witnessed disappearing at the bar. He claims that when a fight broke out, friendly barmaids whisked him out of the bar before the police arrived because he was under the age of drinking. don't remember anything about Alan being in a bar with somebody. Wait. I don't remember that at all. Where does it mention that in the article? Bar? Barmaids, bar. Disappearing at the bar. Barley. That's no. That's the only point that it mentions this. What? That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense at all. What do you mean? Are they referencing the sorry, reunion? The veterans reunion? Is that where they met up? I thought this was just like general information. Did they mean to pose this, that this was like all talked about at that reunion? Weird. Okay, wait, yeah. No, it was the newspaper. Okay, so it wasn't a get together. I'm so confused. They didn't say anything about that until that last paragraph, and now I'm like, why would you say this? This is the same veteran claims to be the man that Alan witnessed disappearing at a bar. What does this have to do with anything? What does this have to do with anything? I'm so confused. Did Alan try to claim that people were getting abducted for trying to, like, talk about this? That's fascinating. That's fascinating to just throw that in at the very end there. That's so silly. Well, there you go. That was the story of the Philadelphia Project. What do you guys think? I don't know. I don't know if I'm convinced or not. I'll be honest. I don't think I'm quite convinced. I think the boys were just getting up to some shenanigans, I believe. That's all I think happened there. Achoo! I appear. I don't know. I don't think I buy this one in particularly. I think it really was just the boys having fun. However, a fantastic idea to play with for any kind of science fiction horror. Because there's a lot of, there are a lot of stories that do use it. There was one that I heard recently, I think it was on Creepcast. What was it? It was like a Russian, orbital vessel in space had disappeared in the 1940s and then came back, and then now in the present day the ship appears in front of another vessel that's monitoring it now. I explained that terribly. Never mind, it's fine. Same kind of idea though. Vessel blips out of reality for a second, comes back, and something is wrong. Simple premise. Dig it. Dig it. Very cool. Very cool. I want to think of a lot of the different, just like, funky physical things that could happen to people aboard a vessel like that in the terms of a story. Like, obviously people getting blipped to different parts of the ship that they're not supposed to be in, both physically and just being there, you know, like they're physically fused with the ship in the wrong spot. Or they're just, you just get like shooken around like a big jar of ants or something. That's a weird way to describe that. This is why I gotta be careful when I stream when I'm sick. I'm not like super ill. I've definitely had a cold the past few days. Past couple of days. It's felt like forever. Warhammer. Oh my god, yep. I don't mean this as a negative thing. I don't mean this as a negative thing whatsoever. But anything that you can imagine being constituted as science fiction in some way or another, Warhammer is done. Warhammer is played with that concept. Not a bad thing, not a complaint. Warhammer's been around for a long ass time, and there are a lot of fucking really long ass books about it. So I'm not surprised. It's a kitchen sink city. I don't think there's anything wrong with that either. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think that can be really fun to play with for people who are invested in the world and the lore and everything. I've just had so many people tell me that, like, especially stuff that we've read about on stream makes them think of Warhammer or some story that's in it. And it's just like, yeah, it totally makes sense that some kind of science fiction story played with this idea at some point in its long history. Hi, Jeannie, welcome in. I hope you're having a lovely, lovely night. I do love me a kitchen sink. Not gonna lie, I love it. Good stuff. I think the heater turned on and it smells kind of burny in here. I don't know if I should check on that or not. I probably should. Oh, hey, good timing. We have a ad break coming up here in just a moment. I am gonna get our next story. I forgot to actually get the page before we started. It is one that I learned about very, very recently. It was through a YouTube channel called The Craftsman, if you've ever seen him before. Also, a very, very lovely, kind of similar to ASMR. He does some fun stuff. But he mostly does crafting videos, as you can imagine. He's done them for quite a long time. He's got all kinds of stuff about making figures, welding, 3D modeling kind of stuff, animating, editing, music production, all kinds of really fun things. So I highly recommend. Just Warhammer. It reminds me of the deck. Oh my god. Is this a Warhammer reference? And it's literally breathing. It's just. Is that a Warhammer reference? Oh my god. I'll never get over it. I think it's silly. I think it's silly. But yeah, he's got a lot of different videos on all kinds of different fun DIY projects and stuff like that. He's a very funky little guy. He did a video recently, the first in, I hope to be a series, called South Investigations, which seems to be fun, spooky investigations to strange things that have happened in the southern part of the United States, which of course is always really cool. This story in particular is from Pascagoula, Louisiana. Make sure I spell that right. Pascagoula. And it is the most reputable UFO encounter and potential abduction that has ever been recorded. There is nearly no information to suggest that this is a falsified story in any way, shape, or form. So I cannot wait to get into it with everybody. I hope you all will find it just as interesting as I do. That'll, of course, be after the ads, which are going to be in a few minutes. Of course, I do want to encourage everybody to take care of themselves. Yes, get some water. That's a wonderful idea. Thank you for the reminder, Jeannie. Nice posture check as well. Good ideas, good ideas. I only have 3 minutes. We can't get into it in 3 minutes. It's fine. It's anything. My buddy wanted to play Hunter the Reckoning, but only if you could. Oh, that's fun. Oh, that's fun. That's very silly. I'm not super familiar with 40k. See? But all you can say is just like one specific thing in Warhammer and be like, oh, is that a Warhammer reference? And people who are actually into Warhammer will be like, maybe? Yes. Yes, it is, actually. Which is very cute more than anything else. It is cool to see people so excited about stuff. I'm not super interested in it personally. Space operas are cool, but they're not explicitly my thing. But, you know, I appreciate a story about people being insane in space. Especially if there's gay shenanigans. Oh. Ah. Oh man. No idea. No idea. Please don't suggest the Nazi ones. Please don't suggest those ones. I know that they're in it, because obviously it's space opera. You gotta have like crazy authoritarian characters that are just actually insane. It's only natural. Chaos Undivided? Oh. What is Chaos Undivided? That at least sounds cool. That at least sounds cool. No, I was hoping there was only like one group. What do you mean? Are there just a bunch? Oh, there's a bunch of space Nazis. Oh no. Oh no. That's so unfortunate. Are there communist ones too, at the very least, to balance it out? Are there also like multiple communist factions? There's one that's very specifically communist, another one that's specifically Leninist, there's another one that's specifically anarchistic. On an ag world? What's an ag world? Wind stars. I do like the chaos insignia. That's pretty fucking cool. Alright, you got me. You got me. I'm skimming. I'm not gonna read the whole thing. I'm skimming. Chaos Lords, War Master, yeah. Essentially one of the mortal champion and all the chaos gods who possess the authority to untie all the forces of chaos under the banner of one Whoa. Huh. Funky. Oh wow, they got a lot of people. I get down to the videos. And it's a fucking two-headed eagle ass looking emblem. Oh my god, that's so Okay, alright. Sorry everybody. Ad break. We'll be back in just a moment. Please do take some time to take care of yourselves. Are y'all just chit-chatting Warhammer lore? That's adorable. That's adorable. Stop that. That's adorable. I'm not gonna be able to keep up. Oh my god, wait. I'm not gonna be able to keep up with all of this. This is wonderful though to see. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. We have another fun, funky, fresh, spooky, real-life story to read. It is referred to as the Pascagoula Incident. As you can imagine, took place in Pascagoula, Louisiana, and it is the most reputable alien encounter. I think you guys are gonna like it. There we go. I called you adorable. Get over it. You are. Everyone is adorable. All the dust bunnies are precious in my eyes. I also got distracted. Sorry about that. I was checking on Kruznik, making sure he was getting to bed. And I had, I forgot that I had gone to the store earlier and got some new body lotion to try. Oh, that doesn't smell like strawberry, but that smells really good. Oh my god. Sparkling strawberry, pink sugar, and vanilla cream. Oh. Oh, holy moly. That smells so nice. Dude, I'm gonna smell so hot. Hell yeah. I want to get the hand cream version of that one too. Oh, that smells amazing. Oh, it smells so good. I didn't catch the funny word that I said, but you're all adorable anyway. Get praised, nerd. Yeah. Yeah, get praised, nerd. I do not accept any negative self-talk, no matter how real that you think it is. In my chat, you must only speak positively about yourself. Because you're dust bunnies. It can only be positive. You ain't got no hands. Oh, the name of the town? Pascagoula. Pascagoula. Do you need to take a shower? If you're gross, you probably just need to take a shower. Okay, there we go. That one. Because I was looking at chat at the right time. There, it landed. There you go. Pascagoula. It does kind of sound like an insult, doesn't it? Just a little bit. Just a little bit. It sounds like it's you fucking Pascagoula. I certainly need a shower. Did I? Wait. No, when I was like feeling super sick at first yesterday, I resisted taking care of myself and I was like, no, I need to take a shower. I feel disgusting. This will help clear me out. Today was a skip shower day. So I just like, I woke up. Wait, no. I did shower today. I didn't shower yesterday because I felt like I couldn't, and then I woke up today and I felt so disgusting that I had to take one. That's right. I just didn't style my hair. That's why I feel like a little greaseball. That's why. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Pasco sounds like an obscure Italian. There you go. Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. It definitely like sounds like a slur. I just could not place it, but yeah, it sounds like an Italian one, especially the way I say it. Don't let the goofballs in New Jersey get their hands on it. All right. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna mute for 1 second. Wonderful. Wonderful. I know exactly 2 goofballs in New Jersey, and they're both my best friends. Oh, those little goofballs. They can have it. They can have it. They can have fun with it. Don't tell the rest of New Jersey, though. Alright, everyone. Are you ready? You're tuning in live. The Anarchy Printing House brings to you the Pascagoula Incident. An alleged UFO close encounter reported by Charles Hickson and Calvin Parker, who claimed that they were taken aboard a UFO and examined before being released by aliens while fishing near the Pascagoula, Mississippi River. The primary claimant, Charles Hickson, would go on to be a UFO celebrity, alleging ongoing contact with the beings and appearing on national television. Hey, could you pass the gula? I'm gonna... The Pascagoula Incident took place amid the 1973 UFO flap, a spate of UFO reports in the southern part of the southern United States. I fucked up. That was so bad. Take 2. The incident took place amid the 1973 UFO flap, a spate of UFO reports in the U.S. South, particularly Louisiana and Mississippi. Around 8 p.m. on October 11th, service station operator Larry Booth called the sheriff to report seeing a strange craft with a blinking colored light pass overhead. Around 11 p.m., 45-year-old Charles Hickson and his 17-year-old relative Calvin Parker, why did they say relative? It was his nephew, arrived at the Jackson County, Mississippi Sheriff's Office to report a strange encounter. According to Hickson, the pair had been fishing off of a pier on the west bank of the Pascagoula River when they heard a whirring, whizzing sound, saw 2 flashing blue lights, and observed an oval-shaped object 30 to 40 meters across and 8 to 10 feet high. Hickson explained that the young Parker fainted and remained unconscious during the examination. Hickson claimed 3 creatures with pincers took them aboard the object and subjected them to an examination before returning them to the wharf. According to the pair, they initially decided not to report the incident, but instead went to the Mississippi Press Office to share their story. On learning no newsmen were present, the pair continued on to the sheriff's office to make a report. Captain Glenn Ryder later told the press that he was initially skeptical and suspected a prank, but soon came to believe that the men were sincere. Ryder smelled the alcohol on Hickson's breath, but Hickson explained that he had only drunk whiskey after being released. Ryder told the press that the men were not drunk. Officers left Hickson and Parker alone in a room, secretly recording the conversation between the two, hoping to catch them in a lie, but their stories remained consistent with their original testimony. On October 12, 1973, the Mississippi Press of Pascagoula reported on the 2 men who claimed to have been taken aboard a UFO by strange creatures the previous night. The 2 men scheduled a press conference for the 11:15 a.m. on October 12th, but it was cancelled. The same day, the Associated Press and the United States International Wire Services picked up the story, which was covered in papers nationwide. The 2 men were examined at a Keesler Air Force Base, cleared of radiation exposure, and released. Locals called for federal officials to investigate, and UFO meteorologist James Harder and debunker turned promoter J. Allen Heidnick traveled to Mississippi and interviewed the two men separately under hypnosis. They told the press the accounts were likely based on fact.
Hi, Ketchup. Welcome in.
I can't hear you anything, but you should totally read the Wikipedia article about Tunguska Event. Ooh, absolutely will do. And I'm sorry, just because my anxiety is insane. You mean that you have, like, me muted, I assume? If you don't respond, I'll just assume that the tab is muted, which is perfectly fine, perfectly fine. But I'm not, just to clarify, I'm not having any audio problems, am I? I'm insane and I have a specific anxiety about having my audio stuff malfunction. Sounds good. Oh, whew. Thank God. Thank you, Jeannie. Thank you. Whew. Oh, thank God. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you both. Thank you both. Blessed. Appreciate it. Blessed. Appreciate it.
Oh, thank you.
What can I say? What can I say? We all kind of understand that anxiety, I think. Oh, actually, wait, before I forget, I will open this one up in another page. I always like to make sure I take note of the stuff all of you suggest to look into. Tunguska. Ooh, this art as the images look so spooky. Oh, this looks so cool. Oh, just the images alone look sick. Alright, yeah, we'll definitely have to check that out. Oh, I love learning things.
I love learning things.
You guys are so cool with all the funky stuff you know about. Oh, wait, this is the Philadelphia one. There we go. Okay. I'm gonna stop crying about how cute everybody is. No, I do not lose sleep over it. Why do you ask? By October 17th, press documented subsequent UFO reports in the wake of nationwide attention. On October 19th, an article under the pair's name appeared in the local paper. That piece argued the creatures were robotic and friendly. An artistic composition of a creature was published in Biloxi on October 20th. The pair agreed to tell their story at the local Rotary Club, and it was reported that the pair were to take a lie detector test. By October 24th, press compared the case to the Betty and Barney Hill case. Local press reported the two men had not been seen at their workplace, prompting speculation that they were being paid to tell their story. October 27th, press confirmed an upcoming polygraph, and by the 30th, a Los Angeles radio station was advertising an exclusive interview with the two men. On the 31st, press reported that a local polygraph examiner had concluded Hickson told the truth as what he believed, cautioning, quote, "We do not say a spaceship landed or that a creature emerged from it," end quote. The use of the polygraph as a lie detector was discredited by the 1980s. Through an attorney, Parker declined to take a polygraph unless requested by Hickson. The attorney said Parker had recently been hospitalized, and that he appeared on the November 2nd episode of The Dick Cavett Show. This is the most disorganizedly written Wikipedia paragraph I've ever read. I'm sorry, somebody needs to review this one. The way that it's written is just very messy. It's not fun to read like this. Come on. We're past Betty and Barney thing. Not yet. I was gonna get to the end of the paragraph and look into it. On November 8th, local press reported that a fisherman and his 14-year-old son claimed to have seen an illuminated object underwater in the same river. On the 29th, Hickson appeared at a taping of the Mike Douglas Show, and combined the two parts of that man's name. The episode aired in syndication in late December. Hickson also appeared on The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson. You're fine, you're fine. I'm never actually getting on to any of y'all, and I'll make it clear if I am. You don't have to worry about it. Okay, Betty and Barney Hill case. They were an American couple and civil rights activists who claimed that they were abducted by extraterrestrials in a rural portion of the state of New Hampshire from September 19th to 20th, 1961. Ooh. I mean, okay. Hold on. I would not be a true skeptic if I did not put it all on the line up front that I may be more inclined to believe these two stories. Because my god, this is a lovely family photo. They look so fucking cute. It's like the dog is just like so at peace and so adorable. And their smiles are very cute too. Just like the fact that their names were Betty and Barney. Are you kidding me? For two people to get into... Okay. Let's not ignore the obvious of this couple existing in the 1960s. Let's not ignore the obvious of that. But to get together when you have like such like close, cute name with the person that you like, you have to accept that some people are gonna give you shit for it. But you don't care because it's for love. That extends into the first part of that, which is very serious and, you know, Elizabeth and Bernard. No, Betty and Barney. That's their names, and it's adorable. I might be more inclined to believe their story because of how cute they are. The little dog is so cute too. It's a very large dog, actually. Their dog, Dulcie. Dulcie got a fucking... That's a well-loved dog. Dulcie got a gut. That's a well-loved dog. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, they were absolutely abducted by aliens. I don't doubt it for a second. Oh wait, yeah, so we read through this. This is just a big dissertation of a lot of different public appearances that they, specifically Hickson made after the event took place. And I do appreciate the confirmation that they were not going to work during the time that they were making the appearances as well. So they weren't scheduling the appearances around their work, they were just kind of hitting the circuit one after another. I mean, if you actually do have a traumatic experience of being abducted by an alien, I'd milk the fuck out of it. Get that bread. Everybody's gotta make rent, you know? Probably making a lot more money than you would be working at a factory, especially in the 60s. And just because somebody was giving them money to like appear on their shows and everything and compensate them for their time does not necessarily suggest foul play. Alright, let us pick back up. I thought I was gonna detail... I thought I was actually gonna detail the event, but this one doesn't. It just goes into like skepticism about it. Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can find one that's just a story about the event. Case files, here we go. Oh, very cool, very cool. This one actually has the sketches that were made. I thought there were some more details about it, but it's fairly short here too. Maybe my brain just kind of filled in details, because the image recreation of the abduction is pretty spooky looking. Maybe my brain just filled in some details, you know? Okay. On the evening of October 11th, 1973, 42-year-old Charles Hickson and 19-year-old Calvin Parker went fishing on the west bank of the Pascagoula River. As dusk fell, they heard a whirring and whizzing sound and saw flashes of blue light on the water. They looked up to see an oval-shaped object, approximately 30 to 40 feet across and 10 feet high. 3 creatures came gliding out of the craft and took them aboard. Completely paralyzed but still conscious, the 2 men were subjected to a medical exam by a giant robotic eye. They were then returned to the shore, and the craft sped away into the night sky. Hickson and Parker promptly reported the incident to Keesler, AFB, and the Jackson County Sheriff's Department. A secretly made audio recording revealed that they were traumatized, worried about their families, and had no intention of deceiving anyone. Hickson reportedly passed a polygraph examination, and Dr. J. Allen Hynek, professor of astronomy at Northwest University, studied the case and concluded, "There is no question in my mind that these men have had a very real, frightening experience." That was the phrase that was really haunting to me when I was learning about it originally. Because no matter what, if somebody claims to have some kind of extreme encounter or anything like that, no matter what, the mental health of the individual should be prioritized, because either they did experience something very extraterrestrial, but also very traumatic, or they simply experienced something extremely traumatic, which, and that, we have to use a lot of grace and tact when we come about it. I think a lot of people's first gut reaction is to be skeptical and contrarian, almost, in their denial of different things like this happening. One of the reasons I give some kind of credence to the Mothman story is because the people who were involved in it, from every appearance, truly seemed shaken by something that had occurred. And unless you're assuming that they're lying about this thing that happened and not just casually mistaken on some details, something traumatic occurred. Some damage was done in some way or another, or something unexplainable happened to someone that was already sensitive and vulnerable. There's a lot of compassion, I think, in taking a step back and saying, no matter the validity of the story, someone has experienced hurt and pain, and we should treat that humanly, I think, at least. People like to get very skeptical, but I don't think a part of being a skeptic is inherently denying humanity. I don't think that's a part of it at all. I think that's kind of dumb. But it does happen a lot in these kinds of stories, which is more depressing than anything else. I'm sorry. I'm doing a silly little stream where we're reading about alien encounters, and I... Gomina, sorry. I got too serious. I'll put the jester hat back on. I like the little bells on it. So aside from this portrait that was made, this was the description of the alien entities. They described the creatures as 6-foot-tall robotic humanoids with gray elephant-like skin, bullet-shaped heads, and slit-shaped mouths, a crab-like hand. They had the ability to levitate, and hover just above the ground. In 2019, Pascagoula installed a plaque near the abduction site to commemorate the incident. That does look like a lovely view, even with the bridge. Hell of a place to get abducted. Hell of a place to get abducted, if true. I have such a fascinating array of tabs open right now. But on request of Ketchup, just in case they are hanging out with us right now. Sounded like we were on in the background, which is fine. In the event that Ketchup can hear us, they requested the Tunguska Event as our next read. The Tunguska Event was a large explosion between 3 and 50 megatons of TNT equivalent that occurred near the Podkamenia Tungsta River in Yanitsky Governorate in Russia on the morning of the 30th of June, 1908. So many strange natural phenomena have taken place in Russia. It is fascinating when you start to look into it. The explosion over the sparsely populated East Siberian taiga felled a large number of trees over an area of 2,150 kilometers squared, or 830 square miles of forest. Eyewitnesses' account suggests that up to 3 people may have died. The explosion is attributed to a meteor airburst, the atmospheric explosion of a stony asteroid about 50 to 60 meters, or 160 to 200 feet wide. The asteroid approached from the east-southeast, probably with a relatively high speed of about 27 kilometers per second. 27 kilometers per second, or 98,000 kilometers per hour. My God. Jesus, yeah, relatively high speed. Oh my God. Though the incident is classified as an impact event, the object is thought to have exploded at an altitude of 5 to 10 kilometers, or 3 to 6 miles, rather than hitting the Earth's surface, leaving no impact crater. The Tunguska Event is the largest impact event on Earth in recorded history, though much larger impacts are believed to have occurred in prehistoric times. An explosion of this magnitude would be capable of destroying a large metropolitan area. The event has been depicted in numerous works of fiction. The equivalent Torino scale rating for the impact is 8, a certain collision with local destruction. That is. The image of the trees on the hills just being knocked down and all of the exterior branches and leaves being vaporized is haunting. That is haunting. Because it obviously looks different than if there was just a fire, just so much stuff being blown back. Wow. Map of the event in Siberia. Oh. Wow. Yeah, it is just kind of out there in Siberia. Damn. It's very far away from any other notable positions, which I guess is good. I guess that's very good. I guess that's why only 3 people may have died. Oh, wow. This is a picture of the marshes around the area. The original photo was taken between 1927 and 1930. Okay, so a couple of decades at least after the event. Gosh, I love old photography. There's nothing that makes something more haunting than seeing this isolated point in time that could never actually be the full picture. Oh, it's so cool. Gotta drink a little bit of tea. And don't forget to stay hydrated, everyone. Okay. Next, we're going to get into the detailed description of the event. On the 30th of June, 1908, cited as 17th of June, 1908 OS, before the implementation of the Soviet calendar in 1918. I'm going to skip the parentheses in this one, I think. Take two, it sounds better. On the 30th of June, 1908, at around 7:17 a.m. local time, Evenki natives and Russian settlers in the hills northwest of Lake Baikal observed a bluish light nearly as bright as the sun moving across the sky and leaving a thin trail. Closer to the horizon, there was a flash producing a billowing cloud, followed by a pillar of fire that cast a red light on the landscape. The pillar split in two and faded, turning to black. About 10 minutes later, there was a sound similar to artillery fire. Witnesses closer to the explosion reported that the source of the sound moved from the east to the north of them. The sounds were accompanied by a shock wave that knocked people off their feet and broke windows hundreds of kilometers away. The explosion registered at seismic stations across Eurasia. I'm sorry, I always have trouble with that word and I don't know why. Across Eurasia, and airwaves from the blast were detected in Germany, Denmark, Croatia, and the United Kingdom. As far away as Batavia, Dutch East Indies, and Washington, D.C. You can't make me laugh with dad jokes, Jeannie. You can't do that. That's not fair. Damn it. It is insane. I have no idea how they're claiming that they, I guess they're claiming that they just picked up the seismic activity. Not that the shock wave reached that far, obviously, but just that, even seismic detectors in DC in 1908 picked it up. God damn. That is intense. Yeah. It's, oh wow. It's pretty much the opposite side of the world. Just at an angle, you know? Nearly, right? Wait. I need a globe. I need a globe map. I'm just gonna put a needle straight through it. Over the next few days, night skies in Asia and Europe were aglow. There are contemporaneous reports of brightly lit photographs being successfully taken at midnight without the aid of flashbulbs in Sweden and Scotland. It has even been theorized that the sustained glowing effect was due to light passing through high-altitude ice particles that had formed at extremely low temperatures as a result of the explosion, a phenomenon that decades later was reproduced by space shuttles. In the United States, a Smithsonian Astrophysical Observatory program at the Mount Wilson Observatory in California observed a months-long decrease in atmospheric transparency consistent with an increase in suspected dust particles. That's meaty. That's a really meaty understanding of what was going on for 1908. That's fascinating. Wait, really? You're at the Smithsonian? Hell yeah. Can I get a souvenir? You're extremely lucky something like this that has hit majority. I know. It's always like so scary to think about that simply by complete coincidence in the events where we have had just any kind of meteor stuff, it tends to be in incredibly low risk areas in comparison. Place in California. I've been there a bunch. Oh, that's cool. Oh, that's cool. I didn't do that. What are you doing? What are you doing? Get down. You're gonna make all the other dust bunnies feel left out. Now I gotta, like, pin everybody. Now I just gotta pin everybody. God damn it. Krusnik is supposed to be sleeping, but instead he's sticking himself to stuff again. Hey, no, you get back there. You get back there. You gotta be up there now until my timer runs out for you. Modern day Bronze Age collapse type stuff is what I needed most. What did I do? I don't know. One person gets pinned, everybody's got to. It's only fair. Because then you also all fall down like little snow. I love the little feet kicking animation. It's like my favorite thing. It's so cute. No matter even if you land upside down, you still get little feet kicks. It's adorable. This is fascinating, though. I do really like this. This was a... Oh, you got screensavered. Okay, no, sorry. I'm taking it back. This one's my favorite. I like the screensaver the most. This is really cool, though. This is really cool, though, that, like, obviously nothing supernatural was going on. It is purely natural phenomenon. But just, like, how big it was able to be detected just all over the world. And then had these long-lasting effects. This is so cool. This is so cool. If Ketchup pops up back in chat, please thank them for letting us know about this. This one's sick. Though the region in Siberia in which the explosion occurred was very sparsely populated in 1908, there are accounts of the event from eyewitnesses, a regional newspaper reports, and an event shortly after it occurred. The testimony of S. Semenov, as recorded by Russian mineralogist Leonid Kulik's expedition in 1903. Oh, I can definitely check it out. Is it like spooky kind of stuff? I am trying to keep it to that tonight. Is there spooky stuff going on? I like spooky stuff. At the breakfast time, I was sitting in the house at Vanavara trading post, approximately 65 kilometers south of the explosion, facing north. I suddenly saw that directly to the north over Uncle's Tunguska Road, the sky split in two and fire appeared high and wide over the forest. The split in the sky grew larger, and the entire northern side was covered with fire. At that moment, I became so hot that I couldn't bear it, as if my shirt was aflame. From the northern side, there, where the fire was, came strong heat waves. I wanted to tear my clothing away, throw it down. But then the sky shut closed. A strong thump sounded, and I was thrown a few meters. I lost my senses for a moment, but then my wife ran out and led me to the house. After that, such noise came as if rocks were falling or cannons were firing. The earth shook, and when I was on the ground, I pressed my head down, fearing rocks would smash it. When the sky opened up, Hot wind raced between the houses like from cannons, which left traces in the ground like pathways as it damaged many crops. Later we saw that all of the windows were shattered, and in the barn, a part like the iron lock snapped. Horrifying. That is horrifying. I'm not going to do the Russian accent for the second one because this one's a lot longer, but oh my god, there's a lot of newspaper clips. Oh yeah, I'm definitely going to just read all of the newspaper clips because these are the spooky things. I don't know if that accent was authentic, but it was...
Oh, thank you.
Probably not, but thank you. What was that, you guys? Nothing, it's fine, don't worry about it. A testimony from Chuchin of the Shenyagir tribe was as recorded by I.M. Suslov in 1926. We had a hut by the river with my brother, Chinkaran. We were sleeping. Suddenly, we both woke up at the same time. Somebody shoved us. We heard whistling and felt strong wind. Chinkaran said, "Can you hear all those birds flying overhead?" We were both in the hut, couldn't see what was going on outside. Suddenly, I got shoved again. This time so hard, I fell into the fire. I got scared. Chinkaran got scared too. We started crying out for father, mother, brother, but no one answered. There was noise from beyond the hut. We could hear trees falling down. Chinkaran and I got out of our sleeping bags and wanted to run out, but then the thunder struck. This was the first thunder. The earth began to move and rock. The wind hit our hut and knocked it over. My body was pushed down by sticks, but my head was in the clear. Then I saw a wonder. Trees were falling. The branches were on fire. It became mighty bright. How can I say this? As if there was a second sun. My eyes hurt. I even closed them. It was like the Russians call lightning. And immediately, there was a loud thunderclap. This was the second thunder. The morning was sunny. There were no clouds. Our sun was shining brightly as usual. And suddenly, there came a second one. Chinkaran and I had some difficulty getting out from under the remains of our hut. Then we saw that above, but in a different place, there was another flash. Loud thunder came. This was the third thunder strike. Wind came again, knocked us off of our feet, struck the fallen trees. We looked at the fallen trees and watched the treetops snap off. Watched the fires. Suddenly Chinkaran yelled, "Look up!" and pointed with his hand. I looked there and saw another flash, and it made another thunder. But the noise was less than before. This was the fourth strike, like normal thunder. Now I remember well there was also another thunder strike, but it was small and somewhere far away, where the sun goes to sleep. Fucking ain't nothing on nothing. The way that indigenous people tell stories like this, there's always some line that just fucking, like, hits so good. Where the sun goes to sleep. Ah, beautiful way to, like, end that one out. That was great. That was great. Kitty cat knocked something. Nope. Nope. Incorrect. Good assumption, though. You haven't seen the video of the girl. Where did that come from? No, I haven't seen it. I mean, I assume that there's plenty of them technically out there, but... Some people are weird about that. I don't know why. No. Nope. Not touching that with a 10-foot pole. For Hunter? What do you mean? Oh, for like, oh. Just being like, no, shh, nothing happened. Don't look at that. I didn't do anything. I don't know what you're talking about. Shh. No idea. I think you're all crazy. That's goofy. That's goofy. I think it would be funny if my bodily functions just sounded like metal falling on the floor, but, sorry to tell you all, nope, it does not. It does not. No, you don't talk about these things on the internet. You don't talk about these things on the internet. Don't do it. Don't do it. Back to the spooky story. That was horrifying. I know. There are weird people on the internet, though. That's why I don't talk about anything like that. There are weird people on the internet. Another newspaper report of the incident. On the morning of the 17th of June, around 9 a.m., we observed an unusual natural occurrence. In the north of Karolinski village, the peasants saw to the northwest. Why did you say peasants? Why do they describe them as peasants? The peasants saw to the northwest, rather high above the horizon, some strange, bright, impossibly to look at, bluish-white, heavenly body, which for 10 minutes moved downwards. The body appeared as a pipe or cylinder. The sky was cloudless, and only a dark cloud was observed in the general direction of the bright body. It was hot and dry, and the body neared the ground. As the body neared the ground, the bright body seemed to smudge and then turn into a giant billow of black smoke. And loud knocking, not thunder, was heard as if large stones were falling or artillery was fired. All buildings shook. At the same time, the cloud began emitting flames of uncertain shapes. All villagers were stricken with panic and took to the streets. Women cried, thinking it was the end of the world. The author of these lines was meantime in the forest about 6.4 kilometers north of Kerinsk, and heard to the northeast some kind of artillery barrage that repeated at intervals of 15 minutes and at least 10. In Kerinsk, the few buildings in the walls facing northeast, window glass broke. That's fair. That's fair. I am one of those peasants, unfortunately. There are weird people on the internet. I'm one of them, but I'm really mostly... As long as you're not causing anything damage. We are all peasants. We are unified by our status and that of the serfdom class. Welcome in. Tell me when the monsters start showing up in the streets and terrorizing villages. I'd love to become a witcher. But also, welcome in, boss. I hope you're having a lovely, lovely night. Hello. I feel like it's been a minute since you've been around. I hope you've been doing well. I like that emote. That one's funny. We might actually be wrapping up soon. I think I gotta go take care of myself. In the street. No, don't put that energy out there. You're supposed to be manifesting whales. Manifest the whales. I want to have a very Merry Christmas this year. Oh, all of those are cute. The fuck, they're adorable. As far as I'm concerned, whales are the only actual... Whales and furries who buy a lot of art of their characters are the only real wealth redistribution that occurs, and if I can encourage that wealth redistribution, I feel like I'm doing something good. Whales. Oh, sometimes on Twitch, community members that like to very heavily monetarily support streamers are referred to as whales, not unironically so in the way that some of them do tend to actually be like oil barons and shit like that. It's definitely an interesting thing to happen. But again, as far as I'm concerned, it's wealth redistribution, so like that. Thank you so much for another gifted, Rox. The bar finally filled up entirely. Thank you for that. That is very, very kind of you. You've been incredibly generous today. But I do hope that you're in a good position. I hope you're in a good position to be so generous and not potentially putting yourself at risk. I would, you know, want to encourage you to take care of yourself, and especially after being so generous, if you have the ability to do something nice for yourself, I think is pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Why would any gopher ever do that? What do you mean, gopher? Oh god! Ad break. Sorry, everybody. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. We made that a quick one because we'll probably be wrapping up pretty soon. I'm starting to feel the scratchies. That was a very cool story to read about, though. I liked that a lot. I've got a lot of tabs open that I'm gonna have to categorize later to make sure I can read more about everything that we checked out tonight. And thank you for the reminder, boss. Everybody, please take a moment to hydrate. Oh, I understand that. You gotta remember, anxiety is one of the mind goblins. It's one of those little fuckers that takes up space in there. I don't even have the audacity to pay rent or anything. They take up space, they say mean things, they throw shit around, and they're just terrible. But I do understand kind of having that in your head where, like, some things that have happened carry a lot of weight. And there's nothing to feel shame about that. We're allowed to hurt when things have hurt us. There's nothing to shame about that. You're not being a baby. You're not getting all up in your feels. Like, there shouldn't be anything embarrassing about that. If somebody's done you wrong, you're allowed to have bad feelings about that. It is okay, as well, to recognize it and help yourself step away from it I think there's a lot of fantastic things that humans have done. And I try to remind myself a lot of the time that, man, humans are just really, really dumb. We're a bunch of dumb, silly, primordial babies, and we really trusted ourselves with systems far too complex for what we could handle. I think of it like everybody is just a himbo, essentially. Himbo or bimbo, whatever you want. I don't have to interact with them, I provide everything. You don't even like to... Well, I mean, you don't even like to hang out with us here? I know I'm not exactly human anymore, but... Please, so leave it at that. That's fair. That's fair. It is everyone's first time through life. That's a good way of thinking about it. Or Thembo. Thembo's a good one. That was a good one. Thembo? Himbo? Bimbo? Thembo? Whatever you prefer. That fell apart so bad. That fell apart so bad. I do still have my tarot cards if anybody would like some last minute readings before we call it. I assume a good portion of people who have come in, whether they're new people or coming back, are either getting comfy and cozy or taking some, or already asleep, possibly. So I don't want to disturb them too much. Don't forget the herbos and the himpy bimbies. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I always forget about the himpy bimbies. I don't even have any excuse for it. Oh man. Oh man. I'll have another one. Wait, another one what? Another story? I'm so oh, another reading. Story, right? Alright. You got another subject you want to channel into the cards? Because we can do that. I'll reshuffle the whole deck again. Give it the extra energy. It is a lot, though. It's gonna sound fucked up when I say this. I'm a fairly mentally ill person. I've had my own wildly. You're allowed to? Yeah, you're allowed as many as you want, technically. Tonight's special. I'm not making anybody do channel points or anything to request stuff. I was just doing it because I wanted to, you know? We've all been through some heavy stuff. And I sometimes, this might be a little bit of a toxic trait, I'm not gonna lie to you. I sometimes get a weird, sick inner entertainment from watching people have public freakouts. Because I, as a stranger, obviously could not ever do anything to stop this from happening. This is just something that's happening. Somebody happens to be broadcasting it. My heart goes out to anybody that's in a position where they're having a public freakout of any kind. And I don't mean somebody having like a mental health incident in like a public place, in which case it is your responsibility as a member of your community to do what you can to prevent harm coming to that person, or whatever they're going through, causing harm to other people. That's the responsibility that we have to each other as human beings. Online, however, I get a little enraptured sometimes when people have breakdowns a bit. But it is always in my heart that I understand that they are going through something immense. Usually it's not even about the thing that they're talking about publicly or having the freak out about, you know? In these cases, I can only hope that people who actually know them personally reach out and try to help them, because that's the only thing that actually would help in the case of somebody having a mental breakdown online. It does happen a lot in, it should not be surprising to anybody that people who tend to be VTubers tend to have a lot of mental health issues. It happens fairly often in the VTuber community, I'm not gonna lie. And every time I see it, I'm just like, God, I wish I could just alleviate all of the pressure that these people are under. These people don't need to be online. These people need to be frolicking in fields and, like, picking flowers, taking care of cats, eating grapes and stuff like that, you know? But, you know, so many people are going through it. So many people are going through it. Give yourself some grace. Are you locked in an asylum room throwing literal fecal matter at the nurses who were trying to attend to you? You could be having a worse freak out right now. That's the contextualization, alright? As long as we are all still just navigating the streets, we're not doing as bad as we could be. Alright. I believe that has given enough time for the energy to be channeled. For Rox, your second reading, lock into your intention, and we shall reveal our first card, representing the past, which is the Nine of Cups, reversed. The vistage cast on the front of the card is that of a man with his daughter, posing in front of a fresh kill. A creature with distorted, massive human teeth and tiny little beady eyes. Where is Cups? Nine of Cups. Here we go. The card for those who have lived a bountiful life. The subject has put emotions into the world and is reaping the rewards manifold. Upright, which it is not. This card predicts great emotional fulfillment and contentment. Reversed, it points towards the dissolution of positive relationships or the potential development of ill will between loved ones. That's in the past, so that can be placed at any point. That's one of like the most poignant cards I've ever drawn for someone on stream. My God. Our next one, representing the present, is the Seven of Wands. This card's vistage is of two warriors, one removing the sword from the back of the other. There it is. I can't find my wands. Oh, there we go. The Seven of Wands, although it is nice to reveal in the accolades of the Six of Wands, nothing that good lasts forever. Eventually, the time comes where one must defend what one has gained at all costs. Upright, which it is. This card indicates that the subject has the strength to fight for what they think is right, even though it's difficult. Reversed, the subject may lack the conviction to stand behind their beliefs. So in the present, if you want to take this fairly literally, you may be posed with a question within yourself. Should I stick to who I am as a person? Or back out on those morals and potentially hold on to your personal safety more so? You can kind of think of it in that way of, like what we were talking about a minute ago, where if we see somebody who's in need of help, regardless to the context, is it something that we fundamentally believe in, that that person should be protected? Some convictions like that might be tested. I would say it's important to stick to who you are. However, also measure if in that moment that something like this may occur, are you in a good space to extend the helping hand? Would involvement potentially make something worse in a realistic kind of a way? not in a not in a anxious thought kind of loop, more just, is it pragmatic, I think is a good way to describe it. Our final card, representing the future, is the Six of Pentacles, reversed. Ablazoned upon it are two friends juggling what seems to be a deck of cards between themselves on a staircase. Moslings, hi! I hopped in a little while ago, but I connected my pre- Oh, I'm so sorry. We are having a little bit of stormy weather right now, so I apologize if that's been affecting anything. We have been. Thank you, Moslings. I hope you've been doing well, too. Man, everybody's coming out tonight. It's good to see everyone. I don't know if it's just because of the winter season and where people got a little bit more time, but I hope everybody has taken some time to take care of themselves, and with the change of the season, you know, making sure you're not getting too many allergies or like, you know, take care of yourself. Atmospheric pressure changes and the cold weather can do all kinds of stuff. I have a cold right now. Don't worry about me, I'll be okay. Okay, Six of Pentacles. Knowing when to give and receive advice. Perhaps the easiest way to articulate this, I told you, bro. Perhaps if Sweet Bro had shown humility and taken advice, he wouldn't be falling down all of these stairs. Upright, the subject has the foresight to either give or receive advice graciously and avoid the stairs. Reversed, the subject may not have their own close confidant to warn them away, or they may not speak aloud enough for them to notice. Okay, I'm sorry, the contextualization of that card was shifted ever so slightly by the theming of the deck. I think you get a good idea, though. If you are wary of decisions that you have to make, it is so important to have people around you that you trust and that you care about to bounce ideas off of, bounce part of yourself off of, allow them to bounce ideas and things that they're going through off of you as well. Sometimes it's not always about telling somebody what to do, but sometimes when you do care about somebody and you see them walking down a dangerous path, it's important to act on the pulls of the heart and tell them that you see that this is happening and that you want better for them. Technically, but it would be a little bit harder because it's a one-of-a-kind kind of a deck. Unless you want to consider, you'd be like, oh, do you have any pentacles? Oh, do you have any wands or something like that? But when it would come to any of the specific arcana, you definitely have to like name it. Otherwise it just wouldn't be fair, you know? You couldn't just say, oh, you got an arcana, like, of course somebody has an arcana, you know? Or you could still... No, you could still do it by numbers because the arcana and the houses are all numbered accordingly. It's 1 through... Is it 1 through 10? It's 1 through 10, and then there's the page, knight, king, queen of each set. That's right. I got Sharpie, I can make it work. You could probably, yeah, that's fair. I'm sorry, I love the idea of people, like, scribbling on a deck of cards just because they've all played with the deck so much, you know? There's a very funny scene in Higurashi where the group of kids is like playing cards together, and the girls at the school have obviously like grown up with each other and have played with the same deck of cards pretty much their entire lives. to the point where they recognize little nicks and scratches and the texture of certain cards to know which ones are which, and so they absolutely decimate the main character in like Go Fish or Old Maid or whatever they're playing. They absolutely decimate them, and it's so funny. I've been playing Where the Winds Meet. Ooh, that sounds fun. Fate Foretold. I don't think I have. It doesn't sound familiar at all, which is so weird. My presence in lifetimes. Really? Really? Even with the I guess it was technically, it's hard to call anything that Higurashi does a reboot, you know? It's a little bit hard to call anything that Higurashi does a reboot, but the more recent installments, what was it? It was only like a couple of years ago, wasn't it? I may have completely gotten my timelines mixed up. I'm a fan though. I like it. I definitely watched the original and read the manga like way too young. I still dig it. I think there's a lot of really cool stuff in it, and there's a lot of fun horror elements that I think are just like wild in isolation. I didn't actually like the more recent retelling. I didn't like it. I didn't like the way that it handled certain things. OG is better. OG is way better. Don't read the manga though. Fuck up your brain, dude. There's a reason that some things didn't make it into the anime. Fateful Told is a card game. Beautiful art. The creator ran a Kickstarter. Turned its sets and just failed. It's a rare game now. Oh! Oh, that's fun. Oh, that's fun. I like that idea. Well, not... I mean, did everybody get their card packs? I guess is the question. Did everybody get their card packs and then the person just disappeared? That's pretty funny. I like that. I like that idea a lot. Dang it. I'm sorry to say it, guys. I'm a bit eepy. I want to go get some cheese and crackers and some soup and then cuddle up and go to bed early tonight. I think I need a little bit of early sleep. And I would encourage everybody else to also take care of themselves, as it is oh so important to do so. My lovely little dust bunnies, in case somebody has not told you recently, you are important. You're important here, you're important in your own life, because you're alive, and that's all it takes to be important. So, if you would do me the kindness of taking care of yourselves, eating well, drinking lots of water, getting the physical activity you need to be comfortable in your own body. Keep yourself well, so that we have plenty more nights that we can spend together. Okay? Okay? Better. Better, you little motherfuckers, all of you. Every single one of you is a little goofball. I do hope that you take the time to take care of yourself. It's the nice cold winter, so there's lots of little things that can definitely pick up. Don't let your health put aside. It's very important. I will see you all again on Friday. Same bat time, 6 p.m. Central Standard. Same bat channel right here, where we will be playing some more of Fatal Frame 2, Crimson Butterfly. I hope you'll all be able to join us, but if not, that's completely fine. You can, right now, completely for free, join us over on the Discord, ! Discord in the chat, or link is in the panels. We'd love to have you. We also have a link tree with all kinds of other socials that you can follow us on, including YouTube for all kinds of odd stuff and shenanigans over there, Instagram, Twitter, Blue Sky, TikTok, all that kind of stuff. We are all over the place. I also have other work that I do, if you're interested. Understandable if not. If you're interested, the links are there. Might just have to scroll all the way to the bottom. But thank you all again for spending some time with me. I appreciate it oh so much. I will see you all again on Friday. I'm not saying you'll just have to click the link